And global interaction, I would like to welcome you all in the conversation where I will be speaking with Mr. Bijay Madhu, who is an eminent journalist and a PIO in Mauritius. Mr. Bijay Madhu, you are most welcome in this conversation.
Thank you. Welcome.
It is our privilege to have Mr. Madhu. I would brief about Mr. Madhu. He is at present a consultant in media and public relations. He has occupied various significant positions. He has been the chairman of Southern African Broadcasting Association, as well as chairman of Africa-Asia Pacific Media Partnership. He was also chairman of the Film Department Corporation Mauritius. He has been an advisor in various ministries such as Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Education, and Ministry of Art and Culture. He has also been Director General of Mahatma Gandhi Institute and the Rabindranath Tagore Institute. He is an active member of GOPIO, that is Global Organization of People of Indian Origin. So, Mr. Madhu, we are glad to have you, and we will start our conversation. In the beginning, at the very first, I would like to start with your memory of India. What is your earliest memory about India? And also, I would like to know that which generation did you belong?
I belong to the fourth generation. My great-grandfather came from Gorakhpur as an indentured laborer. He went back to Gorakhpur as a free person, and he came back as a free person here and settled. And since then, we are settled in Mauritius. My earliest memory of India has been the celebrations of Independence Day of India in Mauritius when we were still a colony. We used to gather, sing songs about India, speeches about India. Everything's happened. So India in those days was only in my mind and as a dream. Besides, of course, there was Hindi films which we used to watch, and religious ceremonies. Scholars from India used to come and preach in Mauritius. So these were the early times when I remember India. Also, we always considered the Himalayas and the Ganges as our sacred places. All the temples, all the Tirthyatras were also our sacred places. So India remained as a sacred motherland for us. So this was what was the images of my earlier days in India.
Glad to hear that, sir. If we see around, many things have changed from the past. Diaspora today have created a different notion of idea of India. The notion might not be the same as it used to be earlier when their grandparents migrated and in the past. So how do you see, what is your notion of idea of India? What is your notion of India?
Definitely.
Today?
Definitely, there has been tremendous transformation in India and in the minds of the people in the diaspora. In earlier days, we were not very proud of calling ourselves Indians. But today, I think that everyone in the whole world, we are very proud of the achievements of India, of the achievements of Indians in all fields, whether it is in IT, whether it is in business, whether it is in art and culture, any name the area. Today, India is on top, and we are very proud, and we feel part of that journey ourselves. So we are very, very proud of India today.
Okay, thank you, sir. Earlier, we used to see that a lot of students used to come to India for study, for their educational purposes, but the number has significantly reduced in present times. So I was just wondering to understand what could be the reason why this number has reduced. The Mauritius students are preferring more to go to the Western countries like Australia or UK or USA. Whereas we see that the standard of education in India is also very good, very high. So what do you think and what would you suggest to increase the number or to look after this issue?
You see, India and Mauritius have been connected even when we were still a colony. One of the first missions which India established after independence was in Mauritius. And even 2 Mauritians were appointed as first ambassadors of India in the world. Since those days, India used to give us cultural scholarships to go and study in different fields in India. Later, when we became independent ourselves, there has been thousands of students who have flocked to India, and India has been responsible of educating our elite. But today, Mauritius itself has about 71 tertiary education campuses, including 4 universities. So people now are doing their first degrees in Mauritius. There are 2 medical schools which are run by Indian professors, Indian investment, and 80% of the students come from India to study medicine in Mauritius. Besides, the degrees that our universities award are of a high caliber, high level. So people prefer to study in Mauritius itself. These facilities are available in Mauritius. Now, what we require in the tertiary sector, higher education sector, is at another level in IT, in artificial intelligence, in high quality engineering, all the postgraduate teaching in medicine. So these are the things where we require assistance and collaborations. So as far as the primary sector is concerned, we are already doing we have all the infrastructure already in Mauritius. It's not that they're going to France or to UK or to America. There are very few who are going there. Most of them are studying in Mauritius itself.
In continuation with this, we usually see that 4th, 5th, or the subsequent generation in diaspora usually do not connect with their country of origin the way their grandfathers have done it. So what would you suggest to connect the youth of Mauritius today with India? How they can inculcate or develop the Indianness or Indian culture, and they can instill this Indian culture among themselves? They can feel more with India. They can connect with India.
Our forefathers have done an excellent job. They have preserved our languages, our cultures, our religions in a dramatic way as far as Mauritius is concerned. And I think this applies to the diaspora itself. But things have changed. Things have evolved. Today we have IT, we have digital India, digital world, and today's youth are connected at another level. But still, as far as Mauritius is concerned, we have preserved all the traditions, we celebrate all the religions, we celebrate all the festivals of India, which are in different parts, because people in Mauritius came from different states of India. For example, Hindi-speaking belt, South India from Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh, now Telangana, from Mumbai, and some from Rajasthan also. So all these people are there, and they have preserved the original linkages. And they celebrate the festivals which are celebrated in those areas here on a national level. There are public holidays declared for that. Besides, government also give a subsidy to all these people to promote their language, their culture, and their traditions in Mauritius. So And our national television broadcasts, I don't know how many hours. At least there are about 5 or 6 channels live dedicated to these languages, programs in these languages daily. And many of these channels come from India directly, live. So the people of today's generation, besides they travel today, travel has become very easy. They go and they visit and they see. And also the evolution which has taken place in Indian society, that also impacts the people here. So you can find the lifestyle, everything that you find in India also, they are found here, perhaps in a better way.
Okay, sir. So, given your expertise in media, I mean, you have been in a pioneering position in media in Mauritius. So, how do you see that this new media played a transformative role in the life of diasporic population in Mauritius? How this new media have contributed in transforming the life of diasporic population in Mauritius?
You see, India has always believed in Vasudeva Kutumbakam. India has always believed that there's one planet and we have one destiny. But that starts from the Indian diaspora. We always say, you start working from where you stand. So we, from the Indian diaspora and India, we must start from where we are first. The media has brought us together, will bring us together, and we must evolve towards creating one society, one Indian society. And in this way, the media will be a very, very great help in absorbing the Indian diaspora of the world. This year itself, I was in Indore when Prime Minister Modi addressed us at the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, and he said that India is going to provide workforce to the whole world. India is already the pharmacy of the world, but India is going to provide the workforce to the whole world, from a laborer to the highest manager. So media is going to bring this platform together to bring information. For example, this year in itself, Mauritius has decided to open immigration at all levels. We need at least, at all levels, from a laborer, from a driver to a manager, at all levels, we can get immigrants again here, second phase of immigrants, totally open. Of course, you have to go through the procedures, but it's open and welcome. So I believe that sooner than later, the diaspora and India will be connected fully and integrated fully at all levels. And in this way, the media is going to play a very, very important role.
Do you believe that this social media or the population who are exerting the emotion of nationalism, which is beyond boundary, that is transnationalism, or who are in a way contributing, do you believe this social media group is a cohesive group, or it is really creating in the formation of digital diaspora?
You see, there are two sides of the coin. I can't assess it fully myself because it's evolving in such a fast manner that it's difficult to gauge the impact of social media. Social media may be doing very good work, but at the same time, creating fake news, fake ideas. So this has to be regulated. And I don't know how this can be regulated. But at the end of the day, this is the excellent platform if it wants to do good to all of us.
Diaspora, in any way, diaspora is called a bridge between the country of their origin and the country of settlement, where they have settled. And we see that nowadays diaspora is actively participating in their homeland politics. What is the political process or politics is happening at their homeland, they are very active. They are taking keen interest, they are funding, they are concerned about the outcomes. So how this participation are helping them. What is your take on it?
You see, first of all, I think that it should not be looked into two sides, the diaspora and India. We must move towards as one society, wherever we are staying. Just like in India, you have several states, people coming from different areas, speaking different languages, eating different types of food, but still 100% Indian. In the same way, the diaspora is also must be considered as 100% Indian. This is the first move we should do. Second, this integration, once it takes place, then the flow of in any field, whether in investment, development, or whatever cultural exchanges will take place automatically. Now with travel being easy, with communications being at our fingertips, all these things can happen. Whatever we are dreaming of is a possibility.
That's true. In fact, Indian diaspora is a diaspora which is in modern times welcomed by all because of its capacity to adjust in any situation, because of its resilience to overcome any problem, or because of its tolerant nature. What could be the reason? But today, Indian diaspora is one of the most some of the challenges that Indian diaspora is actually facing today. If you could give some light on that.
Yes. Indian diaspora in most of the countries are in a minority. But they behave well, they are very well integrated, but very often their success is not accepted, not digested. This is a problem which the Indian diaspora has to face. But we have been very peace-loving country. We invest in education. We invest in the development of the countries where we have settled all around. And we have seen it that our contribution has been much higher, much bigger than the populations, that the percentage of the populations that we are in, whether it is in the USA, whether it is in the UK, in France, or Mauritius, or in Africa. Everywhere where we have settled, we have contributed in all fields: education, health, development, everywhere. But the challenges are that we must get accepted in those countries. Slowly it is happening. This is happening because India is rising. The more India rises, the more respect we will command. This is my opinion.
That's true, sir. In fact, very correctly you have mentioned that in India and the challenges that is being faced by Indians across the world, despite the Indian diaspora being one of the most easy-going diaspora or one of the most tolerant diaspora. But in recent year, we are witnessing a trend, like in the era of globalization, where everything is becoming more close, more like information is available on the websites, whatever you want to read and study. Things are free flowing from one country to another. But still, in this scenario, we are seeing an anti-immigration feeling among many countries. Many countries are trying to put a barrier on the travel or migrants that are coming to their, and it is not a new thing. It has been happening earlier also. But since the free flow have become more common after the globalization, the movement of people are being restricted. That is one of the concern. How do you see these trends in present circumstances? And do you think that social media fuel in any way hatred or xenophobia kind of feeling for the diaspora?
You see, as long as there will be poverty, underdevelopment, people are poor, people are struggling, there will be a conflict. There will be a conflict of aspirations. They will always find a blame on others. So this is a part of the things with which we have to work with and try to find solutions. But these discriminations will continue. At the same time, we have to struggle and prove our worth in all fields. Then we will be accepted.
But this discrimination is starting, or this barrier or this anti-immigration process of anti-immigration is starting in the developed countries who have already achieved the better quality life. They are starting to put these barriers. So that is something which I would like your take on.
You see, we are living still with a sequel of colonialism. When the peoples who colonized us came here, they have taken everything. But now when we are rising and we are becoming more than equal sometimes, then this, there is a balance has to be created. And these things will happen. It is human and we must accept it. But we must always, through dialogue, try to solve these issues. If we don't have a dialogue, then there will be big conflicts.
Indian government now has started a very engaging diaspora policy. Earlier, unlike the past, presently diaspora is valued in India and government has made several policies and a lot of Pravasi Bharatiya Divas celebrations and other events are taking place to engage diaspora in the development story of India. So how do you see these initiatives? And also, would you like to suggest something that should be added or that should be started in coming future to engage diaspora more robustly?
This is happening. Sometimes you don't realize that a very high percentage of the wealth of India is held by the people of the Indian diaspora. You look at it closely and you'll find that this flow of investment which India is getting also comes from the Indian diaspora. They influence it. And in the future, I expect both ways that the development of the diaspora and of India should go hand in hand in all aspects. And people, governments, people, and particularly the policymakers of India has to work towards this goal.
Yours is a story of struggle to success. Yours is a story that you struggled and you have created a suitable, better life for yourself in Mauritius. So how do you see future from here? How do you see the future?
I am a born optimist. I have seen changes in the world in a very positive manner. The lifespan of people have increased from, let us say, the 30s to today, beyond 70s, 80s. I am myself nearly 80 now. So I see things in a very positive manner. And I think that life will become better and better and better in the future.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for being with us, and thank you for sharing your experiences and the perception that you have on various issues. I'm sure that viewers and myself and the viewers must have in
Welcome everyone. So we just saw a conversation, very enlightening and very enriching. और now अब मैं बुलाना चाहूंगी म्यांमार से हमारी कोलीग को मिस्टर एनके जया माधवन. मिस्टर जया माधवन, आप प्लीज अपने आप को अनम्यूट कीजिए and please share your ideas. Please share your ideas. For 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes, Mr. Madhavan.
Okay, thank you. I will be talking to Tamil language. அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். எல்லோரும் என் குறிக்க நினைப்பதுவே எல்லாமே வேறொன்றும் மரியேன் பராபரமே. என் பெயர் MKK ஜெயமாதவன், தொழில் அதிபர் மற்றும் அகில மியன்மார் தமிழ் இந்து நிதி சேமிப்பு நிறுவனத்தின் துணைத் தலைவரும் நிறுவனத்தின் இலவச மருத்துவமனையின் பொறுப்பாளராக செயல் ஆற்றி வருகிறேன். நாம் வெளிநாட்டு வாழ் தமிழர் மியன்மாவிலிருந்து கலந்துரையாட சந்தர்ப்பம் கிடைத்ததை மிக்க நன்றி. உலகமெங்கும் வாழ்ந்து வரும் இந்தியர்கள் எப்பொழுதுள்ள தொலை தொடர்பு கணினிமயமான உலகம் இருக்கிற ஒரு சிறு கிராமமாக மாறி வருவதை கண்கூடா பார்க்கின்றோம். பாரதத்தின் பிரதமர் மோடிஜியின் வெளியுறவுத்துறை கொள்கையின்படி வாசுதேவா குடும்பகம் என்ற நோக்கோடு செயல்பட்டு வருவது நமக்கு கண்கூடாக தெரிகின்றது. இதையே நாம் தமிழ் சங்ககால காப்பியங்களில் சுமார் 3000 ஆண்டுகளுக்கு முன்பே யாதும் ஊரே யாவரும் கேளீர் என்று கணியன் பூங்கொன்னனாரின் வாக்கு. இதை பிரதமர் மோடி அவர்கள் அமெரிக்கா பயணத்தின் போது பறைசாற்றி கூறியுள்ளார். வாசுதேவா குடும்பம், ஒரே பூமி, ஒரே குடும்பம், ஒரே எதிர்காலம் என்ற அதன் முக்கிய கருப்பொருளை முன்னிலைப்படுத்த G20 இந்தியாவின் தலைமைத்துவம் ஒரு வரலாறு வாய்ப்பா இருக்கும். இந்த தலைப்பு ஏதோ கற்பனையாகவும் அல்லது அதிகப்படியான கற்பனவாத கருத்தாகவோ தோன்றலாம். ஆனால் உண்மையில் இதுவே வேத போதனைகளின் முன்மாதிரி. அதனால்தான் சமஸ்கிருதத்தில் உலகம் ஒரே குடும்பம் பழமொழி வாசுதேவ குடும்பகம் மகிழ்ச்சி, அமைதி, பாதுகாப்பு, உணவு மற்றும் தங்குமிடம் போன்ற வளங்கள் மற்றும் நம்பிக்கையான எதிர்காலம் போன்ற ஒரே விஷயங்களை அடைய உழைக்கும் மக்கள் முழு உலகம் நிறைந்திருப்பதை நிச்சயமாக நாம் காணலாம். நமது வேறுபாடுகளுக்கு பதிலாக நமது ஒற்றுமைகளில் கவனம் செலுத்தினால் அது எவ்வளவு எளிதாக இருக்கும். அதனுடன் ஒவ்வொருவரும் தங்களுக்கு தேவையானதை பெற உதவுவதில் உலகளாவிய உதவிக்கு வழிவகுக்கும். அதனுடன் ஒவ்வொருவரும் தங்களுக்கு தேவையானதை பெற உதவுவதில் உலகளாவிய உதவிக்கு வழிவகுக்கும். தேவையான ஒத்துழைப்பை கண்டுபிடிப்பது எவ்வளவு எளிதாக இருக்கும். நாம் தமிழர்களின் பண்பாடானது பிறப்போக்கும் எல்லா உயிர்க்கும் சிறப்போவா செய்தொழில் பெருமை வேற்றுமையான் என்ற திருவள்ளுவர் கூறியுள்ளார். எவ்வளவு வேற்றுமைகள் இருந்தாலும் வாசுதேவா குடும்பகம் என்ற உணர்வோடு வாழ வேண்டும் என்பது அறமாகும். செப்டம்பர் 2023 G20 உச்சி மாநாட்டின் ஒரே பூமி, ஒரே குடும்பம், ஒரே எதிர்காலம் என்ற கற்பொருள் உலகளாவிய சவால்களை எதிர்கொள்ளும் நாம் கூட்டம் பொறுப்பை ஒரு சக்திய வாய்ந்த நினைவுடலாக செயல்படுகிறது. எங்கள் முயற்சிகளை முன்னிட்டு என்பது மூலம் ஒரே பூமி மிகவும் நியாயமான மற்றும் நம்பிக்கை வாய்ப்புகளை நிறைந்த எதிர்காலத்துக்காக நாம் பாடுபடுவோம். நன்றி, வணக்கம். Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jaya Madhavan. Now I would like to request Mr. Narendra Shah from Myanmar to unmute yourself and please share your ideas. Mr. Narendra Shah, are you there in the panel?
Yeah, ma'am. He's there, but he has already given the speech. Actually, he has already shared all the.
So you want to share something?
It's already shared.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So taking it forward, I would like to invite Yogacharya Dr. Neela Megami from the Union Island. Sir, are you there? If you're there, please unmute yourself and share your ideas.
Yes, I'm great pleasure that I'm meeting all, and I'm interested to participate such as a program. It is very interesting for me where I'm living in Reunion Island. I hope so. Everybody, they are understanding my voice, please. Are you hearing me, please?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Thank
Please
you.
continue.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm living in Reunion Island in the Indian Ocean, islands of Indian Ocean, quite nearer to the Mauritius Island. I hope so. Everybody, they knows these types of the islands which is existing since long time. And I'm going to participate as if Vasudev Kudumbam. I'm reciting in Tamil. I'm great pleasure that I'm participating such as the program, which is very interesting for me because that the philosophy of this Ore Bhumi, Ore Kudumbam, and only there is a future for everyone, Ore Edirgalam. That is very, very important to the globe there. இந்த உலகம் நாம் இருப்பது யாவரும் அறிந்ததே. அது எப்போது தோன்றியது என்பது பிறந்து இருந்து இறந்த ஒவ்வொரு ஜீவராசிகளுக்கும் தெரியும். அது உண்மை. உலகின் பரிணாம கொள்கையின்படி படைக்கப்பட்ட உயிரினங்கள் அனைத்தும் பிறத்தல், வாழ்தல், இறத்தல், இந்த மூன்று கொள்கையின்படி உலகம் தோன்றிய முதல் இன்று வரை நிறைய மாற்றங்களை சந்தித்திருக்கிறது. அன்றையிலிருந்து மனிதர்கள் போல் அன்று இருந்த மனிதர்கள் போல் இன்று இல்லை என்பது உண்மை. அன்றிலிருந்து விலங்கு, பறவைகள், இயற்கை, சீதோஷணம், தட்பவெப்பநிலை யாவும் இன்றில்லை. எல்லாம் மாற்றம். எவ்ரிதிங் இஸ் பீயிங் சேஞ்ச். அழியும் அடிக்கடி நம்மை நாமே கேட்டுக்கொள்ள வேண்டிய கேள்வி, இந்த உலகம் எனக்கு என்ன செய்தது என்பதுதான். Everybody, they are asking themselves that the world, what has given to me, what I have to do, and this is the question for everybody. This is what I am just mentioning. இந்த உலகம் எனக்கு என்ன செய்தது என்ற பேச்சுதான். நம்முடன் இருக்கும் இயற்கையில் எந்தவித மாற்றமும் இல்லை. வளர்ச்சியில், இருக்கையில் மாற்றம், ஆனால் தோற்றத்தில் இருந்த எந்த விதமான மாற்றமும் இல்லை. அவர்தம் இனத்திலும் யாதொரு மாற்றமும் இல்லை. நம்மில் சமுதாய மாற்றம், நாகரிக மாற்றம், அறிவு மாற்றம், இன்னும் என்னவெல்லாம் மாற்றங்கள் இன்றளவு மாறிக்கொண்டேதான் இருக்கிறது. உயிரினங்கள் வசிப்பதோ ஒரே பூமி. இந்த பூமியில் ஒரே குடும்பமாக வாழ்வது மனித இனம். உள்ளுவதெல்லாம் உயர்வுள்ளல் என்பது போல் என்ற கூற்றின்படி சமுதாயத்தில் எவ்வளவோ மாற்றங்கள் இருந்த போதிலும் குறுகிய இந்த எழிலான வாழ்க்கையை உலகெங்கிலும் வாழும் மக்கள் ஒருவருக்கொருவர் புரிந்து கொள்ள வேண்டும். மனிதாபிமானத்தை எண்ணத்தில் கொண்டு உள்ளத்தால் உறவு கொண்டு நாம் ஒவ்வொருவரும் அவரவர் எதிர்காலத்தை சிறந்த முறையில் நிறுவ முன்வர வேண்டும். அதுவே எதிர்காலத்தின் முக்கியத்துவம். அதுவே நம் ஒவ்வொருவரின் எதிர்காலத்தின் உறவுகோல். அதுவே நம்மின் திறவுகோல். இந்த உறவானது உலகெங்கிலும் வாழும் மனித நேயத்தின் உறவென்று திறன்கோள். அதுவே உலகின் ஒவ்வொரு மூலைகளிலும் வாழும் நம்மின் மனிதாத்துவத்தின், அதுவே மனித நேயத்தின் எதிர்காலம் என்பதை குறிப்பிட்டுக் கொள்கின்றேன். இந்த எதிர்காலத்தை தொடர்ந்து வாழ நினைக்கும் இளைஞர்கள் முதலில் இந்த எதிர்காலத்தை தொடர்ந்து வாழ நினைக்கும் இளைஞர்கள் முதலில் இந்த 3 ஸ்லோகத்தை, ஒரே பூமி, ஒரே குடும்பம், ஒரே எதிர்காலத்தை உள்ளடக்கி முன்னேற வழிவகுத்து கொள்ள வேண்டும் என்பது இளைஞர்களின் இன்றைய அவசியமாக உள்ளது. ஏனென்றால் நாம் வயது முதிர்ந்து விட்டோம். இந்த உலகம் எதிர்காலத்தில் வரக்கூடிய இளைஞர்களின் கையில் வரப்போகின்றது. அதை ஒவ்வொரு இளைஞனும் தெரிந்து கொள்ள வேண்டும் என்பது என் நிலையான கருத்து. நிலையில் நிற்கும் பூமி, இந்த நிலையில் நிற்கும் பூமி நிலைக்கு நிலை மாறி அமையும் குடும்பம். இந்த நிலையில் நிற்கின்ற பூமி நிலைக்கு நிலை மாறி அமையும் குடும்பம் உறவுகளை உறுதிப்படுத்துகிறது. உயர்வும் உய்விக்கவும் உதவும் நம்மின் ஒரே எதிர்காலம் அமைய வேண்டும். இம்மூன்று தான் உலகை ஒன்றுபடுத்தி உறுதியளிக்கும் நம்மின் எதிர்காலம் என்று இதுவே நம் உறவின் திறவுகோல் என்பது உலகளாவிய மக்களின் கருத்தும் அதுவே என்று என் எண்ணத்தில் படுகிறது. இந்த நினைவாற்றலை ஐயா முதல் PM, Premier Ministre, qui a installé ce programme pour réunir tout le monde, pour consoler, solidaire, ensemble, pour être one family, one globe, and one relation in between every human being. That is the right way of living in between everybody. This is my idea. Thank you very much. If there is any question creating with me, then I will be grateful to explain to the people. I am living in Réunion Island, teaching the Yogasana, and also I am looking after the temple. I constructed one temple to promote our Indian culture over there. Thank you very much giving me a chance to talk with you, please. Yes. Hello, I'm here. Madam, sir.
Please continue.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your ideas.
Please.
Now, yes.
If there is any question creating to me, I will be happy. Even English, French, or Tamil, I will be happy to reply to them. If it is French, I am grateful. If it is English, I am grateful. If it is Tamil, it's grateful that I can reply their question, please, madam.
Sir, if you will have any questions, I will come back to you at the end of the session because other panelists are also waiting to share their ideas. So maybe we will wait for a while. And now I would now we will listen to the ideas of Mr. Mukesh Chunni, who has been a former Minister of Government of Mauritius and an ex-High Commissioner of Mauritius to India. We will listen to his views. And after his views, we'll invite the rest of the panelists. Please stay with us. We'll just connect with you again. Please play the video. We are still trying to open the video. Meanwhile, I would like to call Mr. Atresh, are you there in the panel?
Yes, I'm here. Let me speak. I would
Yeah,
like to extend my gratitude to the team of Antarashtriya Sahyog Parishad, Shamparandi ji, Anil ji, Dandapani ji, and the whole team for organizing this program focusing on the values of Vasudev Kutumbakam. It has been a privilege to hear the valuable experience of all the speakers. The Indian diaspora in Mauritius is going to be deeply conscious of their rich cultural heritage. They have carried the rich traditions of harmonizing different customs, practices, and beliefs. Indian festivals are still being celebrated in Mauritius with much devotion and zeal. Culture is a powerful way to bring Indian diaspora together, and the culture acts as a parameter of the identity of Indian diaspora. So the Indo-Mauritian have influenced Mauritian culture, dominating the economic, public sector and political phases of the island. The Indo-Mauritian community has historically dominated the electoral platform because the Indian diaspora was in majority. So all all presidents of Mauritius were of from the Indian diaspora except one, and all prime ministers of Mauritius were from the Indian diaspora except one. And most Hindu celebrations are public holidays. Indian influence is also felt on music, where in the island has its groups of Bhojpuri groups, Tamil bands. Indian films are also very popular in Mauritius. So during the migration period, Indian people have migrated to Mauritius with their culture, tradition, religion, language, and beliefs. They carried the Indian culture with them, as well as their food habits, rituals, and traditions. At present, they are still practicing their ancestral culture. So most migrants came to Mauritius from Bihar, Madras, and the northern western provinces of India. And however, as we know that when we migrate across the sea, we have the tendency to forget our culture. But fortunately, in Mauritius, we have organizations like the Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh, the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, which derives their base from the inspiration from the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, and they have played a pivotal role in promoting and preserving the culture in Mauritius and helping people practice the Mauritian the culture. And today, basically, the Indian atmosphere pervades in Mauritius, in the Mauritian society. The population of the Indian origin numerically is the most significant on the island, and it is usually called the Little India. The Indo-Mauritian people is strongly linked with Indian communities. They exchange their cultures, ideas, and traditions, and many Indian festivals are celebrated in Mauritius, such as Holi, the Mahashivratri, Yapasam Kavedi, Durga Puja, Gudi Padwa, Ram Navami, Ganesh Chaturthi, Ugadi, and so on. And the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi ji, also referred in his speech to Mauritius as the Choti Bharat in his speech in the Economic Times in 2015. And since 1948, Mauritius, the relations between India and Mauritius have continually deepened, and today they touch diverse areas of cooperation. The rich bilateral ties could be seen from our wide range of agreements and memorandum of understandings that include vivid areas, including taxation, air services, science and technology, tourism, environment, and traditional medicine system, among others. The Indian diaspora in Mauritius is considered unique and significant, as they currently make up more than 68% of the Mauritian population, dominating the island social and cultural facets. They have controlled the politics of Mauritius since independence. The Indians actively participated in the political activity. The Prime Minister of Mauritius, Sisaga Ramgam, of Indian origin. He was the first Prime Minister, and the present Prime Minister is also of Indian origin, Pravin Jagannath. And there are various challenges that the Indian diaspora are liable to face. So the World Hindu Foundation is also playing a pivotal role at the global level. The World Hindu Congress will be held in Bangkok this year and will address 7 crucial thematic conferences on economy, education, media, political, women, youth, and cultural organization. The World Hindu Congress will definitely help to consolidate the ties among the global Indian diaspora. As a 1.2 billion strong community, we ought to have a significant voice in global affairs and for establishing a fair and equitable society. And as a civilization of the Indian diaspora, we have always aspired for a dynamic world which is prosperous, just, and peaceful. Thank you for your attention. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, Vasudev Kutumbakam.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ritich. Now, I will request our IT person to show the video of Mr. Mukesh Chunni, former Prime Minister of Government of Mauritius and ex-High Commissioner of Mauritius to India.
Namaskar. As President of Gopi International, Mauritius, I would like to thank ARSP for inviting me to participate in this 24-hour online collective program in the context of the 1 year of India's presidency of G20. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a historical opportunity, not only for India, but also for the Indian diaspora and friendly countries to align around the key theme, one earth, one family, one future, with the philosophy of Vasudeva Kutumbakam, as it encourages global harmony and international cooperation. With a view to democratize the G20 decision-making process, India's efforts to give a voice to developing countries from the global south is much appreciated by the civil society. This engagement group will be a platform to encourage people's participation, to contribute their unique expertise and experience to ensure that policies shape a better world for all and bring issues of the common man to the forefront during the G20 summit. As you are aware, some of the challenges are climate emergency, especially for since small island developing states. We are all victims. Rise in temperature, rise in sea level at a faster rate than the global average, accelerated coastal erosion, coral bleaching, economic shocks, soaring prices of foodstuff and fertilizers, pollution, energy security, water shortage, poverty, conflicts and wars, health issues. These are some. Gender inequality, which brings societal instability, proliferation of drugs among youth and young children, school-going children, loss of values in some societies where parents are not taking their responsibility, which leads to delinquency and violent behavior in children. And last but not the least, extremism and terrorism. Strange. some faith, some belief systems are not compatible, as they do not uphold the national unity, national integrity, nor are they democratic and secular, nor do they promote communal harmony. These are some of the challenges that we face in the Global South Group. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to highlight here that India is the only port of first call. Be it cyclones, floods, cash flow, vaccines, drug supply, as you are the pharmacy of the world at affordable costs, green and renewable energy, digital technology, capacity building, sector-specific knowledge resources, loans, UPI payments, rupee settlement mechanisms. All these contribute to making of India a friend in need, is a friend indeed. Coming to Mauritius, our ancestral lineage, deep-rooted fraternity, commitment to succeed has forged robust connections. India's contribution to the economic development, infrastructural development of Mauritius cannot be either underestimated or overstated. SECPA, a comprehensive economic cooperation and partnership agreement, gives new challenges, new opportunities for collaboration. India can be a significant facilitator through Mauritius to bridge the African continent. And here I have to underline, when we talk of Africa, people often refer to Africa as if it's one country. No, actually, Africa is 54 countries. And Mauritius has signed FTAs with many of them. As we are geographically African, we are member of the African Union, COMESA, SADC, Indian Ocean Island States, and the Indian Ocean Rim Association. And these organizations can play a pivotal role in trade and investment, where these countries can get a diverse array of opportunities. We in Mauritius, as members of the vast Indian diaspora, and me as president of the GOPI International, would like to put on record our appreciation for India's government through Prime Minister Modi. First, for having invited Mauritius as a special guest to the G20 summit, at which our Prime Minister, Praveen Kumar Jagnnath, will be invited as a guest. Second, for having facilitated the acquisition of OCI card to French-speaking nations, which had lost their records of Indian ancestry. Third, for the support being extended to the global South countries through G20, which is a genuine support. It's not lip service. And fourth, members of the Indian diaspora always say that we make India proud by our achievements at all levels, wherever we are. But now, we also say that Prime Minister Modi ji makes the Indian diaspora proud by his achievements. So we thank him, the government of India, and the people of India for that. The Indian diaspora, ladies and gentlemen, takes a commitment to join hands and embrace collaboration in your journey to Amrit Kaal, a new dawn for the country in 2047 when you celebrate your 100th independence anniversary. Thank you for your attention.
वेलकम बैक। इस प्रोग्राम को आगे बढ़ाते हुए मैं श्री शिव प्रसाद मस्कट से उनको बुलाना चाहूंगी। मिस्टर शिव प्रसाद जी, अगर आप पैनल में हैं तो प्लीज अनम्यूट हो जाइए और अपने विचार को रखिए। जी, शिव प्रसाद जी। जी, मिस्टर शिव प्रसाद जी फ्रॉम मस्कट, अगर आप हैं वहां पैनल में तो आप प्लीज अपने आप को अनम्यूट कीजिए। शायद वो अभी हमसे डिस्कनेक्ट हो गए हैं, हम उनको जुड़ने पर आमंत्रित करेंगे। मैं बुलाना चाहूंगी श्री सतीश कुमार जी को फ्रॉम साउथ अफ्रीका। श्री सतीश कुमार जी साउथ अफ्रीका से प्लीज अनम्यूट कीजिए और अपने विचार शेयर कीजिए। सतीश कुमार जी, कैन यू हियर अस? साउथ अफ्रीका, सतीश कुमार जी, कैन यू हियर अस? ओके।
Good evening, ma'am. Sorry, I was on mute because of some technical glitch. I was not able to unmute. Now I could do. Can I come on if I'm allowed to do so?
Yes, please introduce yourself and please share your ideas. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whoever are present in this forum. My name is Shiva Prasad. I live in Muscat for last 4 years, but this is my second innings here. So first of all, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak about the experience we all Indians living in abroad. And also, I would like to thank everyone who spoke. I'm just sitting here and listening whenever I could do. So I would like to take this opportunity and I would like to speak in my mother tongue, that is Kannada, and I will share my experience. I think I'm the first one to speak in Kannada. So ellarigu namaskara, ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತು ನಿಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ನನ್ನ ಅನುಭವ ಮಸ್ಕತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದ ಒಂದು ಅನುಭವವನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಈ ವಸುದೈವ ಕುಟುಂಬಕಂ ಎಂಬ ಒಂದು ವಾಕ್ಯವನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ನಾನು ಈ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಅನುಭವಿಸಿದ್ದೆ ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ನಾನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ವಸುದೈವ ಕುಟುಂಬಕಂ. ನಾನು ಮಸ್ಕತ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದದ್ದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂದದ್ದು 2009 2009. ಸೊ ಆಸ್ ಐ ಎಂಟರ್ಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಇನ್ 2010 ಏನಾಯ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಕಂಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ there was a kind of a protest, there was an unrest in this country, Oman. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಬಂದಷ್ಟು ಒಂದೇ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂಥರ ಅನ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್, ಪೀಪಲ್ ವೇರ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್. ಅಂಡ್ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಮಾನ್ ಆರ್ ಮಿಡಲ್ ಈಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ ಸಿಂಗಾಪುರ್ 60% ಆಫ್ ದ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್, ವರ್ಕರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್, ಕಾರ್ಮಿಕರು. ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಮಿಕರು. ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ನನ್ಗೊಂದು ಭಯ, ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ವಿ, ಅನ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಇನ್ನೇನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಹೀಗೆ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ನಾವ್ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಂಪನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಮಸ್ಕತ್ ಕಂಪನಿ, ಐ ಟು ವರ್ಕ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅನ್ MNC. ಸೊ ಈ ಕಂಪನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಒಮಾನಿ, ದ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಹೂ ವಾಸ್ ಮೈ ಕೊಲೀಗ್, he comes to me, ಬಂದು ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಶಿವ ನಿಂಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಈ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ನಮ್ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾರಂತ. This is a very proud moment, friends. It's a very proud moment. Today I'm not talking about Indians who are CEOs. I'm not talking about Indians who are athletes who made us proud. I'm talking about the basic Indians who are workers. Okay. I'm very proud. I'm an engineer, but I'm going to share this. Please, Gamana Kodi, please pay your attention, guys. Please pay your attention. So, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, that Omani comes to me and say that, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾರ ಅಂತ. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, I don't know. But please explain me. In 2007, please Google this. In 2007, ಒಮಾನಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸೈಕ್ಲೋನ್ ಹಿಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಗೂನು ಅಂತ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ಅಟ್ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಈ ಗೂನು ಬಂದಾಗ ಈ ಒಮಾನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಲಡ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ನೆರೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಎವ್ರಿ ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಗೆಟ್ಸ್ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೋಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಲಡ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್. ಬಟ್ ಅಟ್ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್, believe me, at that time, the Indians who are the working class, they worked 24/7 and they tried to bring back the country into action. Snehitare, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we hear from the Omanis here. See, this is inclusiveness. When I say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, idra artha, ಈ ಒಂದು ಶೀರ್ಷಿಕೆಯ ಅರ್ಥ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಸಿವ್ನೆಸ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾರತೀಯರ ಧರ್ಮ, ಈಗ ಭಾರತೀಯರು ಜನ್ಮಭೂಮಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕರ್ಮಭೂಮಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್? ಕರ್ಮಭೂಮಿಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಾವು ಆ ಒಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಧರ್ಮ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ರಿಲಿಜನ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಮಾರಲ್ ಡ್ಯೂಟೀಸ್. ಸೊ ಟುಡೇ ವೆನ್ ಐ ಹರ್ಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ವೇ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಇನ್ 2010 that Indian people work day in, day out to bring back this country into action, that is what is inclusiveness. So, Snehitare, I want to tell you this with lot of responsibility. Nano, when we started this program, there was one Swamiji who came and told this, that Indians are highly educated, Indians are businessmen, but Indians also less in criminal activities. Even in Oman, even in today, the previous His Majesty Sultan Qaboos had great respect for Indians. Ivattina kuda. So why I'm saying all these things is, wherever you go, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಧರ್ಮ, what is dharma, is our moral duties. That makes us inclusive with the social fabric of this country. Okay, so I am very blessed to be born in India, and when we learn all this from our parents, ninna dharma nin elli hodrunve, you have to do your duties. So this I am bringing here, and I want to add few things illi. Enant helidre, when you call our culture, like for example, ನೀವು ಯಾರತ್ರನೂ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ culture, so the culture world. See, today people quote Maha Upanishads, Hitopadesha, where Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam was coined. But how this was coined, Adyaru, I think we didn't spend time on that, but we should spend on time because our culture is called as Samskriti. Okay, Samskriti ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸಮ್ಯಕ್ ಕೃತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ the samyak. ಈಗ ನಾವೇನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸಂಗೀತ, Sanskrit, Samskriti means the word is split into two. It comes from a root word called samyak. So samyak ant helidre Hindi mein usko bolte hai saath mein. It is together. So that is where the thing Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam comes. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is my experience. Okay, we have many things to tell in Oman. We are doing so many things. We are doing but I don't want to say this. But I want to say the experience I want to share is even the lower strata. When you compare the education, the people who come here, who are 60% in the working class, who come for 100 riyals, 50 riyals salary, which transforms to 20,000 rupees, 30,000 rupees, even they maintain this dharma, they maintain this inclusiveness, which our Omanis or our people, the locals say that whenever Indian comes, they get along with the social fabric. So I want to say to all my fellow panelists that this is our experience with Oman. Definitely, you will have your experience in your country. So I would like to say this by saying that, like our culture, Samskriti, Samyakriti, I think I take this moment to thank our Indian government to help us whenever we are outside India. And I call this program as a Ahoratri, which you call it as 24 hours, where people come and tell their experience. So I took this opportunity to tell the experience of me about my fellow Indians, though they come with a very difficulty, but still they live up to Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. They live up to this social inclusiveness. They live up to their dharma, to their moral rights. So thank you very much. So this is my experience, sir. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I'll be very grateful for this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shiv Prasad ji from South Africa, Muscat. It's from Muscat, yeah, Muscat. And next speaker is from South Africa, Mr. Satish Kumar. Are you here?
Yes, Ji, I'm here.
Yeah. Please join.
Dhanyavad.
Self in 1 or 2 lines.
Shri Shamji Parande, other officials of the Antarashtriya Sahayog Parishad and other co-host organizations, embodiments of divinity. Saprem Namaste from a cold and rainy Cape Town. I'm happy to have the opportunity to share some thoughts with you today at this global conclave, a conclave that is part of the broader G20 summit being hosted by Bharat. Let me firstly take the opportunity to congratulate the ARSP, which together with various other co-host organizations are rendering creditable and yeoman service to our communities across various sectors around the globe. Today, I fondly remember my first parichay, my first introduction to the ASRP at a private meeting with the late Shri Baleshwarji Agrawal way back in 1992 in Durban, South Africa. The torch lit some 31 years ago of connecting people across the globe remains burning bright through initiatives like this even today. Swami Vivekananda himself played an immense role in connecting people globally through messages of our common humanity, inspired by his famous 1893 address at the World Parliament of Religions in Chicago, with his captivating opening lines of Sisters and Brothers of America, as one of the foremost exponents of Vedanta in modern times. Vedanta remains as relevant today as it was in the time of Adi Shankaracharya and earlier, a philosophy emphasizing the oneness of humanity and existence itself along the lines of the very core subject we speak of at this conclave. Seva is indeed Ishwariya Karya, God's work, and this initiative with a cross-section of people from civil society and invited guests is very well received as one more major step in connecting, building, mobilizing, and celebrating the oneness of humanity, echoed thousands of years ago by the Indian Hindu sages, saying and proclaiming Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is a global village, a global family. Sadly, today, the closest that the West and the modern world has come to understanding the world as a global village is confined only to the internet. It is therefore incumbent on Bharat, India, who has again ascended the world stage as the original Vishwaguru, to guide and steer everyone's attention to the true meaning and understanding of this global village. I'm approaching the subject from a little different angle. Many of the other speakers will, I am sure, dissect and look at various aspects of the theme and broader subject matter. I wish to focus a little more on what each of us can do on a practical level, on a daily basis, to achieve a true and meaningful experience of a common humanity and global family. Something less esoteric and easily achievable for us. That is the simple use of words, like we are doing today. Words matter. They are extremely powerful. As we have seen throughout history, they can start and end wars. Lives can be lost and saved with the use of words. What matters are the words we use, whether they speak life, are chaste and become a mantra, or spell doom and become a mantra, that which is not a mantra. Indians, Hindus have understood this for yugas and kalpas altogether. That is the interconnectedness of the world in totality and total humanity. Our mantras and subhashitams show this. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkhabhag bhave. May all become happy. May none be subject to suffering. May all see auspicious things. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, we know. Krunvanto Vishwamaryam, let us make the world a noble place. Atmano mokshartam jagat hitayacha, for one own salvation and salvation of the entire world. Even our Shanti part speaks of peace at all three levels. Here in South Africa, at 1.2 million people, or Indians are barely 2% of the total population. Many of us, however, from the Indian diaspora have fought head and shoulders together with our local South Africans in the anti-apartheid movement and continue to work in this field to create a better South Africa and world. We need to build bridges of understanding, mutual trust, and healthy coexistence through our words and actions with people of different races, cultural backgrounds, religions, and persuasions. Without being too idealistic, this may not change the entire world in an instant and undo all the negativity that abounds us, but it can certainly have a positive impact on our immediate environments. Chare veti, chare veti. Let us go on experimenting as we have done and adapted throughout the ages and always remain relevant and fresh. I conclude this brief input in the words of the late former President of India, Shri APJ Abdul Kalam, when he addressed the European Parliament during his tenure as president, when he quoted an Indian poet. He said, "Where there is righteousness in the heart, there will be beauty in the character. When there is beauty in the character, there is harmony in the home. When there is harmony in the home, there is an order in the nation. When there is an order in the nation, there is peace in the world." Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Dhanyavad.
Thank you, Satish Kumalji, for wonderful speech. Now I would like to invite Mr. Sri Jaswant Chauhanji. Jaswant Chauhanji is from Kenya. Are you listening, Sri Jaswant Chauhanji? Please unmute yourself. Jaswant Chauhan ji. Yes. Are you listening?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. I am listening. I'm available. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
You can start now.
Yes, sir. Yes. Good evening.
Panji, introduce yourself in 2-3 lines.
Okay. I am Jaswant Chauhan and I have been working in Kenya since 2018. And I'm working in a professional company, in an MNC company, and handling Kenya and West Africa in terms of sales. Now, Kenya and India, we have been sharing a maritime border since ages, and there are very much many historical evidences that Kenya and India has trade relations. So, if I look into it, that both Kenya is very rich in terms of global natural resources like gold and ivory. So India has been trading since long, and we have a very good relations in terms of. Oh. Yes. So our relations of India and Kenya has been since very long. So we also say that the Kenyans had arrived in India in the recent times for the Kenya-Uganda railway line construction. And this is what the recent historians say. And currently in Kenya, we have Indians of more than 3 or 4 generations here. And if I look into the aspect of the contribution of the Indians that they have been contributed to the society of Kenya, Indians have been considered as the 44th tribe in Kenya, and the government of Kenya has recognized the contributions of Indians, and they have given us what I should say, yes, the rights to in the muster that yes, Kenya, we are Indians are tribal, which are native to Africa, to Kenya. Our contribution in terms of the independence to Kenya also is very much to be noted of. Indian leaders like Makhan Singh, M.A. Desai, Gama Pinto, all have contributed a lot in the independence of Kenya. The Indians who have settled here, they have contributed in an immense manner for the independence of the country from the Britishers. Even if I say that yes, there is a in the field of education also, Indians have contributed a lot, and as we have Kenya, and we have developed, we have organized one Kenya-India Friendship Association since 1981. And currently, if I say that there is one Students Alumni Association in Kenya, which is formed and it is known as the Bharatwala Alumni Association. This association, the students from Kenya, who are the local Kenyans, they have gone to India on account of different educational purposes. So many Indians have they have treated them very well. Our Indian community has treated the Africans very well, and now they have organized one alumni association called Bharatwala Alumni Association, and this association is also contributing to the development of the Kenyan society along with the Indians. Though they are Kenyans, but they have contributed a lot to the development of development in Kenya. In terms of the industry, if I say, I should also point out that yes, currently Indians have been present, and they are playing a very big pivotal role in terms of the different works of fields of businesses also. Indians currently are very much into textiles, steel, iron processing, food processing, pharmaceutical and automobile, bodybuilding fields also. And the government also has taken notice of our contribution to the economic development of Kenya, and they have applauded us, applauded the contribution of the Indians. Even if I say that in the current scenario, Kenya has been receiving a lot of support in terms of finance because being an African country, yes, the country needs a lot of aid in terms of finance aids. So the government of India has extended a lot of credit lines to the government for Kenya, and the local people, they have established the old and the factories which are now not in working condition. With the help of the government of India, the factory called Rivatex has been upgraded, and now they are manufacturing textiles locally. So since they are manufacturing the textiles locally, the local people are also empowered and local employment is being generated, and the people are really grateful to the people of to the country of India, as well as the people of India who has been very cooperative in terms of imparting this economic aid to the people of Kenya. Currently, we see that there are a lot of challenges in Africa, and the major challenges, if I see, it is poverty, drugs, alcohol, childhood pregnancy, school leaving, early school leaving by the children because of economic restrictions. So the Indian community has been helping them in a variety of manners, like our different types of humanitarian organizations like Art of Living, Hindu Seva Samaj, Seva Kenya, Pushpal community. All these communities, they have been imparting different types of feeding programs, character building programs for the local people, and they are trying to upgrade the life of the people in Kenya. And this is how our people have contributed a lot in Kenya, and currently Kenyan people are also overwhelmed by the contribution which Indians have provided to the locals. So I think this is what contribution of Indians in Kenya I wanted to brief about. And with this, I thank the diaspora for allowing me to present my views. Thank you.
Next, I would like to invite Sri Ansuman Tiwari ji. He is waiting for long time. Are you listening, Sri Ansuman Tiwari ji? I think he is mute. And I would like to invite next speaker, Sri PJ Maniji. He is from Muscat, Oman. Are you listening, Maniji? PJ Mani.
Namaskar, namaskar. Yeah. Sunai de raha hai.
Sir.
Namaskar ji.
Now it is your turn. First, introduce yourself in 2-3 sentences.
Okay. Right. My name is Peri Jagannatha Mani. I am basically from Andhra Pradesh, Vijayawada. I am right now in Muscat, and in Muscat, I am there from 2005 onwards. I am doing business in software solutions, and the diaspora in Oman. It is contributing for the development of this country, Oman, like anything. Actually, the major construction activities here in Oman are being done by the technocrats, engineers, and the labor being supplied by our country, Bharat. So, in the road construction, in the big industrial projects construction, everywhere our footprint is there. And totally in the Oman population of around 44 lakhs, 22-23 lakhs are expats, and in that around 12 to 13 lakhs are Indians. So our contribution here in terms of the local community development is unmatched in any way we consider it. So this is what we are contributing to the local society, what we call it as Karma Bhumi. Even though our Janma Bhumi is Bharat, we are doing lot of activities here in Oman. Fortunately, here Oman is a liberal country compared to so many other countries. So they are allowing us to do our own activities also without any hindrance. This is the basic introduction. Now, I was told by my seniors here that I have to speak about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam in my mother tongue Telugu. Am I supposed to do it, or in shall I continue in English only?
In Telugu.
Yeah, speak in Telugu. Okay.
Cheppandi.
Andarki namaste. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. మనకందరికీ తెలుసు, ఇది సంస్కృతంలో ఉన్నటువంటి ఒక వాక్యం. వసుధ ఏవ కుటుంబకం. వసుధ అంటే మొత్తం భూమి, ఏవ ఒకటే, కుటుంబకం కుటుంబం. అంటే మొత్తం ఈ భూమండలం అంతా కూడా ఒకటే కుటుంబం. ఇది మనకి మన ఉపనిషత్తుల నుంచి వచ్చినటువంటి వాక్యం. దాన్నే హితోపదేశంలో కూడా మనం చూస్తూ ఉంటాం. మనకి చాలా సందర్భాల్లో ఈ మధ్య కాలంలో ఎక్కువగా వినపడేటువంటి ఒక పదం ఏంటంటే లౌకికవాదం, సర్వమత సమానత్వం, సర్వమత సహనం, ఇలాంటివన్నీ కూడా. వీటన్నిటికీ కూడా మూలమైనటువంటి వాక్యం ఏదైనా ఉంది భారతీయ సంస్కృతిలోంచి అని అంటే అది వసుధైవ కుటుంబకం. ఎందుకు అనంటే చరిత్రలో మనం కొన్ని ఉదాహరణలని చూసుకునేటట్లయితే సింధులో ఉన్నటువంటి రాజుగారు రాజా దహీర్ సేన్, ఈయన దగ్గరికి ఇస్లాంని మొదలుపెట్టినటువంటి ప్రాఫెట్ మొహమ్మద్ గారి డైరెక్ట్ లీనియేజ్ అంటే ఆ వంశంలో ఉన్నవారు వచ్చి శరణు వేడితే రాజా దహీర్ సేను వాళ్ళకి శరణిచ్చి మహమ్మద్ బిన్ కాసింతో యుద్ధం చేయాల్సినటువంటి పరిస్థితి వచ్చింది. నా కుటుంబం కాదు, నా వాళ్ళు కారు అనుకునేటట్లయితే ఆ యుద్ధం చేయాల్సినటువంటి అవసరం లేదు. కానీ రాజా దాహిర్ ఆ యుద్ధం చేశారు. దురదృష్టవశాత్తు ఆ యుద్ధంలో రాజా దహీర్ సేను ఓడింపబడ్డారు. ఆయన కుటుంబం మొత్తం కూడా నానా రకాలుగా ఇబ్బందులు పాలవడం జరిగింది. అదే రకంగా మనం చూసుకుంటే ప్రపంచం మొత్తంలో ఏ రకమైనటువంటి పూజా విధానాన్ని అనుసరించే వారైనా సరే వారందరూ ఒక దేశంలో ఎక్కడైనా దొరుకుతారా అని అంటే అది ఒక్క మన భారతదేశంలో మాత్రమే దొరుకుతారు. మనకి యూదులు మన దేశానికి 75 ఆ ప్రాంతాలకే వచ్చి ఉన్నారు. యూదుల్ని ప్రపంచం మొత్తంలో అన్ని చోట్ల నానా రకాలుగా ఇబ్బందులు పెట్టినప్పటికీ జర్మనీ లాంటి దేశంలో గ్యాస్ ఛాంబర్స్ లో పెట్టి వాళ్ళని ఇబ్బంది పెట్టినప్పటికీ కూడా ప్రశాంతంగా వారి జీవన విధానాన్ని, వారి పూజా పద్ధతిని, వారి దేవుడిని వారు ఎలాగ పూజించుకోవాలో ఆ విధానాన్ని ప్రశ్నించకుండా వారికి పూర్తి స్వతంత్రం ఇచ్చినటువంటి దేశం ఏదైనా ఉంది అంటే అది ఒక్క భారతదేశం మాత్రమే. అలాగే భారతదేశం మొత్తంలో మొట్టమొదటి మసీదు కట్టబడింది కేరళలో, కింగ్ జామరిన్. ఈ కింగ్ జామరిన్ మహమ్మదీయ రాజ్యం కాదు, హిందూ రాజు. అయినప్పటికీ కూడా ఏ రకమైనటువంటి పరిమితులు పెట్టకుండా నువ్వు ఇలాగే చేయాలని కానీ, నువ్వు ఈ ప్రాంతంలోనే ఉండాలని కానీ, నువ్వు ఈ ప్రాంతం సరిహద్దు దాటి వెళ్ళకూడదు అని కానీ అలాంటివేమీ పెట్టకుండా పూర్తి స్వేచ్ఛనిచ్చి మసీదును కట్టుకోవడానికి అవకాశం ఇచ్చినటువంటి సంప్రదాయం మన భారతీయ సంస్కృతి. అలాగే కొచ్చిన్లోనే పలయూరులో మొట్టమొదటి చర్చి కట్టబడింది. అక్కడ కూడా ఆ అవకాశాన్ని ఇచ్చినటువంటిది అక్కడ ఉన్నటువంటి హిందూ రాజులే. అంటే సింధులో, వాయవ్య ప్రాంతంలో ఉన్నటువంటి సింధులో ఉన్నటువంటి రాజుగారు, దక్షిణ ప్రాంతంలో సముద్ర తీరంలో ఉన్నటువంటి కేరళలో ఉన్నటువంటి రాజులు ఇద్దరు కూడా ఒకే రకంగా ఆలోచించారు. వచ్చిన వాళ్ళు ఎవరు, వచ్చిన వాళ్ళ యొక్క ఆరాధనా పద్ధతి ఏమిటి, వాళ్ళు ఎవరిని పూజిస్తున్నారు, వాళ్ళు ఏమైనా మనకి రేపొద్దున్న భవిష్యత్తులో ఇబ్బందికరమైనటువంటి పరిస్థితిని తీసుకొస్తారా అనేటువంటి ఆలోచన ఏమాత్రము లేకుండా వాళ్ళు గుర్తుపెట్టుకున్నది ఒక్కటే, వసుదైవ కుటుంబకం. కాబట్టి
ప్లీజ్ కన్క్లూడ్ ఇన్ ఎ మినిట్.
ఆ రకంగా మనకి మన సంప్రదాయంలో ఈ రోజున ఏదైతే మనం లౌకికవాదము అని అంటున్నామో, ఈ లౌకికవాదం అనేది మనకి మన సంప్రదాయంలో వచ్చినది ఈ వసుదైవ కుటుంబకం అనేటువంటి వాక్యంలోంచే. అందుకనే మనం ఇంతమంది ఉన్నప్పటికీ కూడా, ఇన్ని రకాలైనటువంటి పద్ధతులు ఉన్నప్పటికీ కూడా అందరూ కలిసి భారతీయులుగా ఒకటే దేశంలో మనం ఈ రోజున మనగలుగుతున్నాం. ఈ అవకాశం నాకు ఇచ్చినందుకు ఏఆర్ఎస్పికి, అలాగే ఆ కార్యకర్తలకి, అధికార గణానికి ధన్యవాదాలు తెలుపుకుంటూ నమస్తే.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your ideas. Now I would like to inform that we are going to play a video which is about dance and music culture of India. So please stay connected. Thank you.
तकदिं तदिं नादृदीं ततों धृदीं दिरनातन दिरनातकदिं तदिं नादृदीं ततो नादृदीं ततों धृदीं दिरनातन दिरनातरिगिडतगदि रिमरि पमगरि मवरि नव रिमवनि सक्किटदि निलवत्तगदिं तगजं तगणं तगसरि सरि नव मगरि सनि सरिगिडतगदि रिमरि पमगरि मवनि नव रिमवनि सक्किटदि निलवत्तगदिं तगजं तगणं तगसरि सरि नव मगरि सनि हरि रि पम मनि पव सरि निधि मम पवनि निधि निसगरि तगदि दिमि तगदरि गिडदि तगदिमि तगदरि गिडतरि गिडतगदि रिमरि पमगरि मवनि नव रिमवनि सक्किटदि निलवत्तगदिं तगजं तगणं तगसरि सरि नव मगरि सनि हरि रि पम मनि पव सरि निधि मम पवनि निधि पवनि निधि निसगरि तगदि दिमि तगदरि गिडदि तगदिमि तगदरि गिडतगदिं तदिं नादृदि तदों धृदि दिरनातन दिरनातकदिं तदिं नादृदि ततों धृदि ದಿರನಾಥ ದಿರನಾಥ ಕದಿಂತದಿ ನಾದೃದೀಂ ತೋಂ ಹೃದೀಂ ಹೃದೋಂ ಹೃದೀಂ ಹೃದೋಂ ಹೃದೀಂ.
A video showcasing. Now I would like to invite Shri Kavignar Surjami from Oman. Shri Surjami, please unmute yourself and share your ideas.
இப்பிறவிதனில் யான் இங்கு வந்த பயன் முன்னமே தானறிந்து எப்பொழுதும் என் சிந்தை விட்டு அகலாது வழி நடத்தி திண்ணமுடன் இட்ட பணி அப்பிறழாது செய்திடவே தாயே தமிழே அருள்வாய். வசுதெய்வ குடும்பகம், உலகம் ஒரே குடும்பம். ஒன் எர்த், ஒன் ஃபேமிலி, ஒன் ஃபியூச்சர். இந்த சனாதன தர்மத்தின் வேறாக இருக்கக்கூடிய இந்த சொற்றொடரை நம்முடைய பாரத பிரதமர் அவர்கள் எங்கு சென்றாலும் இதை குறிப்பிட தவறுவதே இல்லை. இந்த சிந்தனை எங்கிருந்து வந்தது? இதனுடைய வேரை நாம் உற்று நோக்க மகா உபனிஷத்தில் இருந்து வந்தது. எப்படி இந்த இந்திய பாரம்பரியம் என்பது இந்த தமிழ் மொழியில் சங்ககாலம் தொட்டு இன்றைக்கு 2000 ஆண்டுகளுக்கு முன்பே புலவர்களால் பாடப்பட்டிருக்கிறது என்பதற்கு சில சான்றுகளை சொல்லி இந்த வசுதெய்வ குடும்பகத்தை நாம் எப்படி இன்னும் மெருகூட்டி இன்னும் அதனுடைய கட்டமைப்பை வலுப்படுத்த நாம் என்ன செய்ய வேண்டும் என்பதை குறிப்பிடுவது எனது நோக்கமாக அமைகிறது. சங்க இலக்கியங்கள்ல ரொம்ப பழமையானது இந்த 10 பாட்டு அப்படிங்கிறது. அதுல திருமுருகாற்றுப்படையில நக்கீரர் சொல்றார், உலகங்கிற ஒற்றை சொல் எப்பொழுதுமே தமிழர்களுடைய சிந்தனை என்பது உலகத்தை ஒட்டியே அமைந்திருக்கிறது என்பதற்கு சான்றாக உலகம் உவப்ப வளநேர்வு திரிதரு பலர்புகள் ஞாயிறு கடல் கண்டாங்கு ஓவர இமைக்கும் சேன்விளங்கு கதிரொளி அதிர்வொளி அப்படிங்கிற. அப்போ அந்த உலகத்தோடு எப்படி அந்த சூரிய கதிர்களை அவர் சொல்ல வருவது போலவே முல்லைப்பாட்டு என்ற இலக்கியத்திலும் நனந்தலை உலகம் பழகி நேமியோடு வளம்புரி பொறித்த மாதங்கு தடக்கை நீர் செல்ல நிமிர்ந்த மால் போல எப்படி அந்த வாமன அவதாரத்தை குறிப்பிட்டு அதையும் உலகத்தையும் எப்படி ஒப்பீடு செய்கிறார்கள் என்று சங்க இலக்கியம் இன்றைக்கு 2000 ஆண்டுகளுக்கு முற்பட்ட இலக்கியம் நமக்கு விளங்கப்படுத்துகிறது. அதை தொடர்ந்துதான் திருக்குறள் உலகத்திலேயே அதிகமாக மொழிபெயர்க்கப்பட்ட ஒரு நூல். அது சொல்கிறது ஆதி பகவன் முதற்றே உலகு, இந்த உலகுக்கு தலைவனாக இருக்கக்கூடியவன் யார் என்பதை சுட்டிக்காட்டுகிறது. இது சங்ககாலம் தொட்டு சமீபத்திலே பாடிய பாரதி கூட சொல்கிறான், பிற நாட்டில் இருப்போர் பெயர் கூறி அல்லாஹ் யெகோவா என தொழுது அன்புறும் தேவரும் தானாய் திருமகள் பாரதி உமை எனும் தேவியர் உகந்த வான்பொருளாய் உலகலாம் காக்கும் ஒருவனை போற்றுதல். எப்படி இந்த வசுதெய்வ குடும்பகம் என்பது வேரோடு இரத்தத்தோடு குருதியோடு மொழியின்பால் கலந்திருக்கிறது. அந்த மொழியில் பண்பாடு எவ்வளவு உயர்வாக இருக்கிறது என்பதற்கு சான்றுதான் பாரதியை குறிப்பிடுகிறேன். மிக சமீபத்திலே கொரோனாவில் நாம் எல்லாம் அவதிப்பட்டிருந்த பொழுது ஒரு கவிஞன் இப்படி எழுதுகிறான், நாயக நானிலம் கண்டிரா நோய் இது ஓயவே உன்னை அழைத்தனன் உம்பர் வாழ்ந்திட வகை செய்தியே அதை போல இம்பர் வாழ்வினை காத்து இங்கு மகிழ்வி அப்படி என்று ஒரு கவிஞன் எழுதுகிறான் என்றால் அந்த உலகத்தை ஒட்டிய சிந்தனை, அந்த உயர்ந்த சிந்தனை, அந்த பண்பாடை நாம் இங்கு உற்று நோக்க வேண்டும். நம்முடைய பண்பாட்டிலே அன்னையும் பிதாவும் முன்னறி தெய்வம், நமக்கு கடவுளாக இருக்கக்கூடியவர்கள் நம் தாய் தந்தையர். அதுதான் அந்த குடும்பத்திற்கு ஆணிவேர். சனாதன தர்மம் எங்கு தொடங்குகிறது என்றால் இந்த தாய் தந்தையர், அந்த பண்பாடு, அந்த மூத்தோர்கள் வழிபாடு அதில் தான் தொடங்குகிறது. ஆறுகளை உலகத்து மக்களுக்கு எல்லாம் ஓதலின் சிறந்தன்று ஒழுக்கம் உடைமை. ஒழுக்கம் தான் ரொம்ப முக்கியம். கல்வியை விட சிறந்தது ஒழுக்கம். அந்த ஒழுக்கத்தை தான் வள்ளுவர் ஒழுக்கம் விழுப்பம் தரலான் ஒழுக்கம் உயிரினும் ஓம்பப்படும் என்கிறார். அப்ப எப்படி அதை பாதுகாக்கிறது? அந்த ஒழுக்கம் எங்கிருந்து வருகிறது அப்படின்னாக்கே அதுக்கு சுய கட்டுப்பாடு. சுய கட்டுப்பாடு நமக்கு எப்படி கிடைக்கிறது என்றால் சுவை ஒளி ஊறு ஓசை நாற்றம் இவை 5 வகை தெரிவான் கட்டே உலகு. நாம நம் புலன்களை கட்டுப்படுத்த வேண்டும். புலன்களை கட்டுப்படுத்துவதால் நமக்கு கிடைப்பது எது நல்லது எது கெட்டது அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு தெளிவு வருது. இருமை வகை தெரிந்து ஈண்டு அறம் பூண்டா பெருமை பிறங்கிற்று உலகம். இந்த உலகம் யாரை பற்றி குறிப்பிடுகிறது, யாரை உயர்த்துகிறது என்றால், எவன் ஒருவன் இது நல்லது இதை செய்ய வேண்டும், இது தீயது இதை செய்யக்கூடாது என்று எண்ணுகிறானோ அவனை பற்றித்தான் இந்த உலகம் உயர்வாக பேசுகிறது. இதற்கு அடிப்படையாக இருப்பது ஒழுக்கம். அந்த ஒழுக்கம் வருவது சுய கட்டுப்பாட்டு. அறம் என்றால் என்ன? ஈண்டு அறம் பூண்டார். அறம் என்பதற்கு உலகத்திலேயே எந்த இலக்கியங்களும் சொல்லாத ஒரு எளிமையான தத்துவத்தை திருக்குறள் சொல்கிறது. அழுக்காறு அவா வெகுளி இன்னாச்சு. ஜலசி, அழுக்காறு என்றால் ஜலசி, அவா என்றால் கிரீடினஸ், வெகுளி என்றால் ஆங்கர், இன்சொல். அழுக்காறு அவா வெகுளி இன்னார் சொல், தீய சொற்களை பேசக்கூடாது. இதுதான் அறம் என்கின்றது. மனத்துக்கண் மாசு இளநாதல் அனைத்து அறம் ஆகுல நீரப்பெற என்று வள்ளுவர் கூறுகிறார். அப்ப மனதளவுல தூய்மை இருக்க வேண்டும். அதற்கு வாய்மை மிகவும் முக்கியமானது. அந்த வாய்மையை கூட வள்ளுவர் சொல்லும் போது வாய்மை எனப்படுவது யாதனின் யாதொன்றும் தீமை இல்லாத சொல்லல் என்கிறார். இதையெல்லாம் நாம் இப்படி அறத்தை, வாய்மையை, சத்தியத்தை, சுய கட்டுப்பாட்டை, ஒழுக்கத்தை உயர்வாக பேணுவோமே ஆனால் அன்பும் அறனும் உடைத்தாயின் இல்வாழ்க்கை பண்பும் பயனும் அது. குடும்பம் தான் இங்க ரொம்ப முக்கியம். இன்றைக்கு ஆண்டாளுடைய பிறந்த நாள். நாவில் திருமகளும் நெஞ்சில் மாலவனும் நின்று நயம் பயந்த ஆண்டாள். அப்படி அந்த கோதை ஆண்டாள், கோகுலம் ஆண்டாள், கோமகளை பற்றி சிந்திக்கக்கூடிய ஆற்றலில் நாம் இவையெல்லாம் இந்த ஒழுக்கத்தை பற்றியும் இந்த அறத்தை பற்றியும் சிந்திக்கக்கூடிய வாய்ப்பையும் சேர்த்தோமானால் இந்த வசுதெய்வ குடும்பகம் எப்படி இந்த உலகத்தை ஒரு குடும்பமாக கொண்டு வருவது, எப்படி அன்பை பேணுவது, எப்படி உறவுகளை வளர்ப்பது என்பதற்கு சின்ன சின்ன சான்றுகளை மட்டுமே உங்கள் முன் வைக்கிறேன். எப்படி இந்த உயர்தலை செம்முடியிலே கூறப்பட்ட கருத்துக்களை மிக குறுகிய 7 சொற்களிலேயே அமைக்கப்பட்ட 2 அடி செய்யுளை வைத்து நம் வாழ்க்கையை எப்படி நாம் அமைத்துக் கொள்வது, இந்த உறவுகளை பேணுவது என்பதற்கு உள்ள ஒரு அரிய வாய்ப்பாக இதை சொல்லி என்னுடைய ஒரு கவிதையோடு நான் உங்களுக்கு இந்த செய்தியை நிறைவு செய்யலாம் என்று நினைக்கிறேன். இலங்கு நாடாம் இருபதின் விலங்கு முகமாம் பரதமே. இந்த G20க்கு நாம தான் இன்னைக்கு லீடர்ஷிப் எடுத்துட்டு இருக்கிறோம். அப்போ இலங்கு நாடாம் 20 விலங்கு முகமாம் பரதமே துலங்கும் இனியும் உலகமே. பைய தலைமைகள் என்றான் பாரதி. இந்தியாதான் உலகுக்கே வழிகாட்டி என்றார் சுவாமி விவேகானந்தர். அப்ப துலங்கும் இனியும் உலகமே தூவி வானம் மகிழுமே, நலங்கள் யாவும் விளையுமே, நமது கூட்டின் உணர்விலே நிலங்கள் வேறு எனினுமே நிலவு முகமோ இணைக்குமே. நிலங்கள் வேறே எனினுமே நிலவு முகமோ இணைக்குமே. குடும்பம் என்றாலே அது மகிழ்ச்சி, அது ஆனந்தம், அது நிறைவு. அத்தகைய குடும்ப உறவுகள் சிறக்க வேண்டும் என்றால் ஒழுக்கம் இருக்க வேண்டும், அறவழியில் பொருளீட்ட வேண்டும். தீரின்றி வந்த பொருள் என்று திருவள்ளுவர் குறிப்பிடுகிறார். வள்ளுவம் என்பது வாழ்வியல் சம்பந்தப்பட்டது. அது ஒரு வாய்ப்பாடு அல்ல, மனன செய்யுள் அல்ல. இலக்கியங்கள் என்பது வரலாற்றின் பெட்டகங்கள். எப்படி நம் முன்னோர்கள் வாழ்ந்தார்கள் என்பதை நமக்கு சொல்லுவது. அவ்வகையிலே இந்த வசுதெய்வ குடும்பகத்தை நம்முடைய பாரத பிரதமர் அவர் நினைத்தார் போல நாம் எட்ட வேண்டும் என்றால் இவையெல்லாம் வாழ்க்கையில் நாம் பழக வேண்டும். நடையில் நின்றுயர் நாயகன் என்கிறார் கம்பன் ராமனை பற்றி குறிப்பிடும் போது. அந்த ராமன் இன்றளவும் உயர்ந்து நிற்கிறான் என்றால் அவன் நடந்து காட்டினான், யாருக்கும் அறிவுரை சொல்லவில்லை. அறவழியில் நடந்தாலே போதும் இந்த அகிலம் நம்மை நிச்சயமாக ஃபாலோ பண்ணும், நம் பின்னால் நிற்கும் என்பதை சொல்லி இந்த அரிய என்பதை சொல்லி அறவழியில் பழகுவோம் என்று சொல்லி இந்த அரிய வாய்ப்பினை நல்கிய அனைவருக்கும் நன்றி பாராட்டி இடம் அமர்கிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம். Over to you.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I would like to invite Ms. Sania Bolshevik from Slovenia. Ms. Sania, please unmute yourself and I would request you to introduce yourself and then share your ideas.
Hello, I'm Sanja Bogicevic, president of Roma organization from Slovenia, and I have one translator with me, but my English is very bad.
Hello, I am the president of our Romani organization, Amaro Drom, and a Romani helper in our local school. Our organization is dealing with education, culture, and sport. Our Romani culture we are spreading through dance and language. We also have a kids Romani representation in football. Our Romani settlement, Vanchavas, we have a football club, and Roma, and we are in a cooperation with them. We depend on their football pitch, which is in a very bad condition. Because of that, we want to help them financially. The new stadium and football pitch cost 700,000 euros. That investment would be crucial for our Romani organization and the club Anchor Roma and our Romani settlement, a great achievement. Our children are smart and willing to learn, so for that we will be grateful for any help, and thank you for listening. I would also like to ask if you have any questions about that.
We don't have question as of now. If it comes out to us, we will let you know in due course.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your ideas. Now I would like to invite Mr. Karthik Gupta from South Sudan. Mr. Karthik Gupta, please unmute yourself.
Namaste everyone. I'm Karthik Satyanarayana Karthik Gupta. I'm doing business in South Sudan. I'm an industrialist producing plastic pipes. I have been here last 15 years and almost settled in South Sudan, Juba. I'm going to give speech in Kannada. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನನಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸದವಕಾಶವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ಬಂಧು ಬಾಂಧವರಿಗೆ ಹಾಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ದೊಡ್ಡವರಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಿಸುತ್ತಾ, ನಾನು ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಷಯವನ್ನು ಘೋಷಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಿಷಯವನ್ನು ವಿಶ್ಲೇಷಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ವಸುದೈವ ಕುಟುಂಬಕಂ. ನನ್ನ ಜೀವನ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಈಗಿನ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಇದು ನನಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಪುಣ್ಯಭೂಮಿ, ನನ್ನ ಭರತ ಭೂಮಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಅಮೋಘವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ವರ. ನಾನು ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ದಿನನಿತ್ಯ ನಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆಯವರ ಪೂಜೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರ ಜೊತೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನನಗೆ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗದೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಿಷಯ, ಸರ್ವೇ ಜನ ಸುಖಿನೋ ಭವಂತು, ಓಂ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆಯವರು ಈ ಮಂತ್ರವನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ತರಹದ ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಆಗಲಿ ಆ ವಿಶಿಷ್ಟತೆ ಆಗಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ಮಭೂಮಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ಮವನ್ನು ಆಚರಣೆ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಂತಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಅರ್ಥವಾಗಿದ್ದೇನೆಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಸಮಾನವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮಾಜದ ಜೊತೆ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರನೇ ನಮಗೆ ನಾವು ದೈವಿಕತೆ ದೈವಿತ್ವದ ಜೊತೆ ನಾವು ಇರ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಇಷ್ಟು ದಿನ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ವೈವಿಧ್ಯಮಯ ಹಾಗೂ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ನಡೆಸಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ವಸುದೈವ ಕುಟುಂಬಕಂ. ಅದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದ ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಿವಾಗಿ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಜನ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ಭಾರತೀಯರು ನೆಲೆಸಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆ ದೈವಿ ಗುಣದ ಜೊತೆ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ತರ ಯಾರ ಜೊತೆ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಅರಿದುಕೊಂಡು ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಮೆಲಗಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಕಾರಣ ಈ ವಸುದೈವ ಕುಟುಂಬಕಂ. ವಸುದೈವ ಕುಟುಂಬಕಂ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲೋ ನೋಡೋ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡುವವರು ಹಾಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಕ್ಕಪಕ್ಕದವರು ಇಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರು ಹೇಳೋದನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಆಶ್ಚರ್ಯ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ನಾವು ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣತೆ ಹೊಂದಿದೀವಿ ಈ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ. ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. ಅವರ ಒಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ವೈವಿಧ್ಯಮಯವನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಅವರು ಆಶ್ಚರ್ಯಚಕಿತರಾಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗದು ಆಶ್ಚರ್ಯ ತಂದ್ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣತೆ, ಸಂಸಾರ ಜೀವನ, ಅದರ ಮೌಲ್ಯ, ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ ಮನೆಯಿಂದಾನೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ವಿಶಿಷ್ಟತೆಯಿಂದ ಕೂಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರತ್ತೆ. ಆ ವಿಶಿಷ್ಟತೆ, ಆ ವೈವಿಧ್ಯಮತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅರಿವಾಗೋದು ಕೇವಲ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಜನ್ಮಭೂಮಿಯನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕರ್ಮಭೂಮಿಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ. ಈ ಕರ್ಮಭೂಮಿ ನಮಗೆ ಹಣಕಾಸು, ಹೆಸರು ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನೂ ಕೊಡುತ್ತದೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಕೊಡುವಂತಹದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ, ಸಂಪ್ರದಾಯ. ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ನಾವು ಬದುಕಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾರತೀಯರ ತರ ಬದುಕಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಭಾವಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ಅದೃಷ್ಟ. ಅದು ಕೇವಲ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗಿದ್ದು ವಸುದೈವ ಕುಟುಂಬಕಂ ಅನ್ನುವ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಸಿದ್ಧಾಂತದಿಂದ ಮಾತ್ರ. ಅದು ಕೇವಲ ಒಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಪ್ರಪಂಚಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ, ಸಂಪ್ರದಾಯ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಭಾವಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ದಿನನಿತ್ಯದ ಜೀವನನೇ ಸಾಕು ನಾವು ಈ ಪ್ರಪಂಚ ಜೊತೆ ಯಾವ ತರ ಮೆರಿತೀವಿ ಅಂತ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾನೊಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಹಳ್ಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದೀನಿ. ಆ ಹಳ್ಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಜಾತಿ, ಮತ, ಯಾರೇ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಆ ಊರಿನ ಮಗ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಊರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮದುವೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅದೇ ವಿಲೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನನ್ನ ಅಳಿಯ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾತಿ, ಮತ, ಧರ್ಮ, ಭೇದ ಭಾವನೆ ಯಾವುದೂ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಅದೊಂದು ಸಾಕು. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಥ ಪರಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಇದೆ, ನಾವು ಒಬ್ಬ ಮನುಷ್ಯನಾಗಿ ನೋಡಕ್ಕೆ ಎಂಥ ಸಮಾಜವನ್ನು ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ, ನಾನು ಯಾವುದೇ ಧರ್ಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇರಿರ್ಲಿ, ನನ್ನನ್ನ ಅಳಿಯ, ಆ ಊರಲ್ಲಿ ಮದುವೆ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅಳಿಯ ಅಂತಾರೆ, ಆ ಊರಿನ ಮಗನಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಮಗು ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಪ್ರೌಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಫೀಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗಿದ್ದು ಕೇವಲ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ದೇನೆ ನಾವು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್. ಆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಪ್ರೌಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಫೀಲ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಪಂಚಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ದೇನೆ ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಬಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ವೈವಾಹಿಕ ಜೀವನ ಹಾಗೂ ಸಂಸಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಕಂಡು ಅವರು ಸಂತೃಪ್ತಿ ಪಟ್ಟಾಗ, ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರು, ಶ್ರೇಯೋಭಿಲಾಷಿಗಳು, ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಈ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳು, ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಅರಿವಾಗುತ್ತದೆ, ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ, ನಾವು ವಿಶಿಷ್ಟತೆಯನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿದೀವಿ, ಪ್ರಪಂಚದ ಜೊತೆ ಹೊಂದಾಣಿಕೆ ಇದೆ, ನಾವು ಇವರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವೈವಿಧ್ಯತೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಸಾಧಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಮನೋಭಾವ ಬರುತ್ತದೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಸಲಿ ಗರ್ವ ಕೂಡ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತದೆ. ಗರ್ವದ ಸಮೇತ ನಾವು ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ, ಸಂಪ್ರದಾಯಗಳನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಧರ್ಮದ ಗ್ರಂಥ ಇದು, ನಾವು ದೇವ್ರು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನ ಇದು, ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದ ಪಾಠ ಇದು, ನಾವು ಬದುಕಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಮಾಜ ಇದು, ಆ ಸಮಾಜವನ್ನು ಗೌರವಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲದೇ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ತಿಳಿಯದೆ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಪ್ರೀತಿಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಅಭಿಮಾನಿಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಕಲ್ಚರ್ನ, ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ದೇಶದ ಒಂದು ಭಾವೈಕ್ಯತೆಯನ್ನ ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ತುಂಬಾ ಮೆಚ್ಚುಗೆಯನ್ನು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ಅದೃಷ್ಟ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಭಾವಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಈ ವಿಷಯವಾಗಿ ಪೂರ್ಣ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ತುಂಬಾನೇ ದೊಡ್ಡ ವಿಷಯ. ಈ ವಿಷಯವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸಂತೃಪ್ತಿಯಿಂದ ಜೀವನ ಪ್ರಮಾಣಗಳನ್ನು ಗಮನಿಸಿ, ಆ ಜೀವನ ಪ್ರಮಾಣಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕೂಡ ದಿನನಿತ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಪರಿಪಾಲನೆ ಮಾಡಿದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ಮಭೂಮಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಖಂಡಿತ ಅವರಿಗೆ ವಸುದೈವ ಕುಟುಂಬಕಮ್ಮನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸಬಹುದು. ಅವರ ಜೊತೆ ನಾವು ಕೂಡ ಬೆಳಿಬಹುದು, ಬೆಳೆಸಬಹುದು, ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದಾಗಬಹುದು. ಸರ್ವೇ ಜನ ಸುಖಿನೋ ಭವಂತು. ಓಂ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to invite Mr. Satish Prabhakaran. Now I would like to invite Mr. Satish Prabhakaran. Please unmute yourself. Mr. Satish Prabhakaran, please unmute yourself. Seems we have lost connection with him. May I request Ms. Shikha Rastogi? Ms. Shikha Rastogi? Okay, it seems she is also not here. So now please, before moving ahead, we are going to have a video again of India's rich culture. Please stay connected.
Сергію Миколо текера, сім'я кило метелача, і за кердьом дешарі, за чидом саварі, і геом равіне тица теп'яв, і за кердьом дешарі, за чидом саварі, і геом равіне тица теп'яв. Coromaciavale lisageyo, Uparina talenetza vipiyo, pero pio de shari, pero pio savari, romani gili sabagani yo, pero pio de shari, pero pio savari, romani gili sabagani yo. Sceldro che mi romani, io io yattar gostir bare vali, e sa che ya shelari, vikinga savari, te yavalı mare ke baftali, sa che ya shelari, vikinga savari, te yavalı mare ke baftali. Hoppa! Шаворен саме керебеша, і протарго мека наліначав, і ромнорі я вела, путлове я нела, не саєм дресєм я ме хулай, і ромнорі я вела, путлове я нела, не саєм дресєм я ме хулай. Опа!
इसको क्लोज करना है।
Go to Zoom link, panelist.
पैनल में जाना है, हाँ। इसके पहले इसके पहले तो है वो, हाँ वही वाला, ये नहीं। नीचे दिखा रहा है,
ये दिखा रहा है आप यही।
नहीं ये नहीं है, इसको क्लोज कर दीजिए आप, फिर आपको इजीली मिलेगा। वो जो पैनल थे ना सारे स्पीकर्स जिसमें थे जूम लिंक में, हाँ ये सबसे लास्ट में जो अभी दिखाया,
लास्ट वाला, हाँ इसको कीजिए, ठीक।
ये yes, welcome back. May I now request Ms. Tithi Tripathi from Uganda to unmute herself and share her ideas. Ms. Tithi, please unmute yourself. Yes.
Yes, please. Am I audible enough?
You are audible. Please introduce yourself and then share your ideas.
Okay. Namaste to my lovely global family. I am Tithi Tripathi, a second-year medical student studying at Makerere University, Kampala, Uganda. With my familial roots being from a culturally rich country, India, the concept of Vasudev Kutumbakam was inculcated in my mind at a very young age by my grandparents. Vasudev Kutumbakam, a word that finds mention in the Maha Upanishad, chapter 6, verse 72, is not just restricted to being good to one another, but it refers to a selfless drive for the upliftment of every creature. Gita beautifully explains the characters that can help a human compile with the ideology of Vasudev Kutumbakam. Sarva Bhute Hite Rata and Lok Sanghartha, meaning a person should be ever engaged in the good of all creatures and should carry the march of mankind upwards and forwards, always keeping the bond of humanity in supreme position. The notion of Vasudev Kutumbakam unifies all macro and microorganisms together, like beads in a string. The perfect cohabitation of the flora and fauna is very well witnessed in Uganda, renowned to be called as the Pearl of Africa, a country full of enchanting natural beauty, flourishing wildlife and vegetations, a country with immense scope for development in all sectors, always cordially welcomes students, industrialists, and businessmen from all corners of the world. In Uganda, there are few functional organizations that constantly try to offer help to the regional communities. For example, Seva International Uganda and IVA, or the Indian Women Association, etc., and many other families who try to practice the same at an individual level. Seva International Uganda, a non-profitable community service organization, is currently providing midday meals to 3 primary schools in Uganda. This act has been able to create an enthusiastic ambience in these schools, which has directly increased the day-to-day performances of the students and the schools itself. Apart from that, at the time of dreadful COVID pandemic, they helped the Ugandan Health Ministry by providing tons of medical supplies like sanitizers, masks, therapeutic drugs, etc. Also, IVA, in the Indian Women Association Kampala, Uganda, has been organizing many welfare programs. For example, medical camps, distribution of sanitary pads and other essentials, empowering women communities, and educating about organic farming and many others. Now, talking about the special relationship between the Indian and the Ugandan military forces. An Indian military advisory and training team led by a brigadier, 2 colonels, and 1 group captain has been stationed at the Ugandan Army's Senior Command and Staff College, Chimaka, since February 2010 to assist in the training of the senior officers of the Ugandan Armed Forces. The Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh, in collaboration with the Indian High Commission Uganda, organizes Yoga Day, a global event, every year, which allows the participants to become familiar with the core benefits of yoga. Apart from these transnational social movement organizations, India also contributes to the Ugandan economy. The industrialists and the agriculturists not only invest in Uganda, but also reduces its dependency on the foreign imports. They do so in an attempt to create country's self-reliance. Construction companies aim at infrastructural development of the country, and monetary firms like Bank of Baroda and Bank of India aim at providing financial support to the Ugandans for non-stop development. The concept of Dukanwala was brought from India, which has produced a positive impact on the way the microeconomy works at this point, as it creates many opportunities for employment as well as self-employment. Now, as we try to envision the way forward in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, we might realize that it's not a solitary effort, but one that involves solidarity. Young children and teen programs will enlighten this holistic concept, iconography, which is spreading the message through art, etc. Adolescents and youth can make use of social media as a way to convey their thoughts. Social media platforms and blogging platforms have tremendous potential to change the world. What we lack right now is its judicial use. The young generation can empower the Indian soft power, which includes our culture, Indian food, traditional dresses, Bollywood, etc. And they could do this by using internet and by creating informative and appreciative content. Youth could also provide vocational training to the natives by teaching them mechanics, ICT works, home science, home cooking, business administration, entrepreneurship ideas, modern agriculture ideas, etc. This will help create an element of self-reliance, famously called as Atmanirbharta. No matter how revolutionary change has to be created, it always begins at home. At first, the primary aim should be to contemplate the essence of family moral values like respect, dedication, etc. It is quite evident that due to the increasing negative impact of the so-called modern culture, there is rising instability within the family. That family, which also is the basic unit of the society. So it is very important to instill a sense of responsibility within all communities towards their family, towards their nation, and other living creatures. Another goal is to reinforce the knowledge of natural remedies by introducing Ayurveda, which will also help them build a pristine form of relationship and interdependency with the nature. The introduction of yoga will help them connect themselves with the body. Yoga will help them tame their minds and stabilize their internal energies or chakras. A centralized mind can give rise to ideas that can empower and improve the society. Sources of employment can eradicate poverty and also terminate other associated consequences like theft, crime, illiteracy, malnourishment, etc. Economic self-reliance will help reduce the impact of financial colonization. The strength of family morals will uplift the society as a whole. Remember, a human is never born with an individual dimension, but a collective one. I would like to end this address with few lines. विश्व बंधुत्व की भावना हर हृदय में जगानी है. विश्व बंधुत्व की भावना हर हृदय में जगानी है. वेदों की यह शिक्षा समस्त विश्व में फैलानी है. एक दूजे का हाथ थाम एक दूजे की पीड़ा हरनी है. समस्त विश्व एक परिवार है. यह बात सिद्ध करनी है. यही बात सिद्ध करनी है. जय हिंद, जय भारत. प्रणाम.
Thank you, Tithi, for the wonderful talk. And now I would like to request Mr. Raghav Sharma from Ethiopia to unmute yourself and share your ideas. Mr. Raghav Sharma.
Namaste. I'm
Please
Raghav
introduce
Sharma
yourself. Yes, please.
Okay. Namaste. I'm Raghav Sharma from Ethiopia. I have been based here for the past 4 years and I'm an entrepreneur. Now, in an increasingly globalized world, all the countries must interact with other countries. Immediately after independence, India too embarked on its journey to build a strong relationship with other countries of the world. Following its rich relationship with Africa, who seemed closer to India due to close sea routes, India intended to revitalize its relationship with African countries. Now, largely due to geostrategic location, India tried to build a relationship with Ethiopia, that is situated on the Horn of Africa. Ethiopia is a landlocked country. In the initial years following independence, India established an official channel of communication by initializing diplomatic relations between the two countries, which was in 1948. Now, this might look very recent, but our relationship goes back long in time. Many people associate Ethiopia to the cradle of humanity, but here is a trivia. There still exists a tribe named Siddhi who reside in Gujarat and have proven direct linkages to Ethiopia. Their ancestors surely preserved many aspects of their Ethiopian culture and cuisine. Well, this migration was never a one-way affair. There is historical data proving that there was migration from northwestern India to the Abyssinian civilization to help them cultivate cotton, which they did by crossing the narrow Red Sea. The Aksumite Empire was a powerful kingdom that existed in Ethiopia from the 1st to 7th century AD. The Aksumites had extensive trade relations with India, and they adopted many Indian cultural influences, including their writing system and religion. The Lalibela churches of Ethiopia are a group of monolithic churches that were carved out of a single rock in Ethiopia in the 12th century. The churches are considered to be one of the most important examples of Ethiopian architecture. They also bear some similarities to Indian temples, which suggests that Indian architects may have been involved in their construction. Moving ahead, a popping similarity that never goes unnoticed is that between the cuisine of the two nations. Both the countries use a variety of spices that also share history of trade between the two nations. The staple food of Ethiopia is injera, which is very similar to our dosa. The use of dal and rice in mostly all their meals shows how close the connection is. Trade surely has been the backbone of the relationship between India and Ethiopia in the past. Trade is one of the most important aspects of India-Ethiopia economic relations even now. In 2021, the total trade between the two countries was worth 1.2 billion USD. India is Ethiopia's third largest trading partner. India is also Ethiopia's second largest source of FDI, that is the foreign direct investment. Another important landmark in developing cultural relationships between the two countries has been setting up a hospital by the Indian community settled in Ethiopia in 1963. The hospital was named Gandhi Memorial Hospital for Gynecology and Obstetrics. It was set up to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the then King Haile Selassie I coronation. The king in return dedicated the hospital to the memory of Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi is seen by Ethiopian peoples with great respect. This shows how strong the people-to-people bondage is there between the two countries. Cultural ties are further strengthened with the strong presence of Indians in Ethiopia, who are over 10,000, the majority being investors and professors. The early settlers among the Indian community in Ethiopia came from Gujarat. They came to this country in the latter years of the 19th century. During imperial times, there was also tens of thousands of Indian teachers in schools all over Ethiopia, even in the most remote parts. Now, Ethiopia relies on many other countries for n number of things. For example, Ethiopia is a landlocked country. Thus, it uses Djibouti's port to open its door to the world. Ethiopia imports large amount of wheat from Australia. It relies on various superpowers for aid and forex, but like everyone in the family, Ethiopia contributes, like the tiniest kid contributes to the family. Ethiopia gives coffee to the world. Ethiopian coffee travels across the globe and it's enjoyed almost by every nation. Now, this shows no matter what, we all need each other in some form or the other. We have made these borders, but in reality, whether you believe it or not, we are all somehow a big family. I would like to end with a tiny phrase which fits perfectly here, which is share and care. I believe sharing the moral values and knowledge we have with the world and caring about their sorrows and difficulties is the right approach in making this world a better place. Thank you.
Now I would like to invite Mr. B.S. Ramesh Babu from Uganda. Mr. B.S. Ramesh from Uganda, please unmute yourself. Sir, please introduce yourself first and then share your ideas.
Sure, madam. नमस्कार and सभी को मेरा नाम है रमेश बाबू from Uganda. Sorry for that interruption. Ramesh Babu from Uganda. I'm a Sangha ki hisab se मैं संघ चालक, and as a business I'm living in Uganda for 33 years and running pharmaceuticals, FMCG distribution and manufacturing of medicines in Uganda. So I want to thank first of all ARSP for organizing this wonderful event for the benefit of everyone. So I just want to start with the meaning of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So meaning Vasudha is the earth, Aiva is thus, Kutumbakam is the family. So Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is a Sanskrit phrase that means that the world is one single family. The world is a family. Words of Maha Upanishad is engraved in the entrance hall of the Parliament of India. This shows our Prime Minister's commitment, not only talking several places about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, also implemented in the new Parliament building. So engraving this. All living beings on the earth are a family. References in the modern world, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi used this phrase in a speech at World Cultural Festival organized by the Art of Living, adding that Indian culture is very rich and has inculcated in each one of us with the great values. We are the people who have come from Aham Brahmasmi to Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We are the people who have come from Upanishad to Upagraha, satellite, unquote. The theme and logo for India's G20 presidency from December 1st, 2022 till November 30th, 2023 as a mention of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam or one earth, one family, one future. The logo was selected after scrutiny of 2,400 pan-India submissions invited through a logo design contest. It was used in the 7th International Earth Science Olympiad, which was held in Mysore, India in 2023. Just take latest two examples. The Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam said in our Upanishad is correct or not. Number one, the recent pandemic of coronavirus, even if the creation of coronavirus happened in another country, the evil effect has remained all over the world. All these who thought that we are safe in our homes, but what will happen to me have suffered many ways. This one incident is enough to make us understand that the whole world should live together like one family and live healthy. The second, the recent the war which is going on between Russia and Ukraine. The whole world is impacted with this war by drastic increase in the prices and shortage of supplies and a lot of things. So this reflects clearly we are one earth, one family. This was said by our Upanishad several thousands of years back. That is the greatness of our Bharat. The other words we always say from our ancient Veda is Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Makasid Dukkhabhag Bhavet. Meaning, let all be happy, let all be healthy, let all see the good in others, and no one suffer from unhappiness. Let us pray for peace. So in reference to Uganda, so already my other colleague has spoken few things. Indian diaspora exists over 130 years in Uganda. All are living peacefully, and we respect with good humility. This is due to our Hindu philosophy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We respect the people of Uganda and do not quarrel with anyone. Treat them as our brothers and sisters. In Uganda, over 40 Indian community associations exist under the umbrella of Indian Association. Many of these associations, in addition to organize our cultural Hindu programs, festivals, also do a lot of charity work for the benefit of local Ugandans. So Indian business also contributes 65% of the tax revenue collected by government of Uganda, except we have suffered a lot during the Idi Amin's time of 1971, exile of all the Indians. Otherwise, the new president has called back all those people of India who lived here and welcome them back. He understands that the economy of Uganda can grow better under the business community of India and Indians. So, whereas in case of Europeans, they give soft loans and a lot of those contracts are taken away by them. And whereas Indian community do the business as well as grow the economy. So coming to HSS in specific, Asang, we do two things to people of Uganda under Seva International. I think my colleague already spoke about it. The school program, which we started 3 years back, and today we are serving over 2,300 children every day midday meals. So this has impacted the school, teachers are saying. So it has improved the attendance and also giving a good results to the school. So empty stomach, they could not able to study well and give the good results. So second thing, we also conducting International Yoga Day since 2015 after pronouncement in the UN General Assembly. So we do take up this program into several towns, schools, villages, and also a mega event at the end of all these events with over 2,500 people with the presence of high commissioners, ministers, and several other people. So Seva International will provide all these yoga participants with yoga mats, booklets of yoga, and also provide them t-shirts and many other things along for the participants so that they can keep that booklet and practice during their leisure time. Wherever Indian diaspora present for the present, feel the people surrounding us, our family members, and give whatever we are to do good to them. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is our Hindu bloodstream. It is also our duty and necessity to promote Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam for world peace and safety of ourselves. Jai Hind. Dhanyawad.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I would like to invite Mr. Mayur Arjun Bhai Shri from Kenya. Mr. Mayur Arjun Bhai Shri from Kenya. Please unmute yourself.
Namaste everyone. My name is Mayur Shir. I'm from Kenya. 4 years old and I'm in Kenya. I was privileged to do my engineering in India, in Ahmedabad, and I'm back in Kenya again. So I'm also very fortunate to be on this platform today to speak about the global summit here and the concept about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. I'm a telecom engineer and a technical for Eastern Africa for a French multinational company and currently based in Nairobi. Indians have a long history in East Africa, especially in Kenya, long before the colonial period, at least 16th century, as far as I know, with proof of archaeological findings. And there have been lots of trade between India and East Africa. So I think it's better to address this as a Bharatiya, as the word Indian is a very recent word which came up during the colonial period. So there has been a big link between Bharat or Bharatiyas and East African or Kenyans. I think one of my friends must have mentioned from Kenya about Vasco da Gama. He actually sailed to Bharat, some Gujarati sailors. So there are lots of proofs and lots of stories which proves that there has been a link of Bharat to Africa long ago. Then during the colonial period, a lot of people from India were brought in by British as teachers, as postmen, farmers, supervisors, and a lot of people settled here in the 19th century, 18th and 19th century. And during the independence here in Kenya, that's 1963, the Indian population was almost around 200,000. And thereafter, there was a mass exodus and a lot of people moved out of Kenya. They got the option either to get the British citizenship or go back to India or remain in Kenya. So they had to choose one. And a lot of people chose to go to Britain. Some returned back and a lot of Kenyans remained. Today, there are approximately 80,000 Indians in Kenya. As we all know, the phrase we've been talking about, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, has been in the bloodstream of Indians and Bharatiyas wherever they go. And it has nurtured the thought of duty versus right. And that's what happens in a family. When you have a son and a father, the son has a duty towards the father. He doesn't ask for his rights. When he's a small boy, the father has a duty towards the son. So that family value is always there in an Indian family. And with that, there has been a sense of duty all around, and especially towards the karma bhumi. Karma bhumi means where a person lives, grows, earns, and makes his life and living. So Bharatiyas or Indians who have moved out and stayed in different countries have considered those countries as their karma bhumis. And with this concept of duty versus right, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, family values inside one. Indians have in their karma bhumi done a lot to develop the local environment, done lots of sevas to uplift the locals, did a lot of, in Kenya, we have lots of Indian community, almost more than 100 communities, I mean temples and different communities, and all are doing lots of seva activities, tree planting activities, medical camps, and so on. Indians who have come, especially during the colonial period and after getting independence, supported a lot in the development of Kenya's educational system, the constitutional system, judiciary system, the medical system, and lots of hospitals today are also influxed with lots of Indian doctors who have actually grown up in Kenya, and others are from India. Indians have brought a lot of techniques in the agricultural sector and the way the farming has been developed in Kenya. On a lighter note, a lot of foods have become like staple or have become a way of life for local Kenyans, such as the chapati, which is like roti, you know, it's chapati, samosa, curries have become part and parcel of Kenyans. Spices that were introduced long before the colonial period are part and parcel of locals, and they seek these medical values in them. During the colonial period, a lot of workers were brought in from India to construct the railway from Mombasa to Uganda. So that was a huge work because those days we did not have machineries. Everything was being done manually. And lots of Indian, together with local workers, built a very long railway line. And during this time, the Indian workers used to enchant one word called Har Ambe to lift the bars of the railway tracks together with the locals and say Harambe, Harambe. So everyone used to lift it together, and this local community, the indigenous people, also used to start saying the word Harambe, and now it is turned pronounced as Harambe. And Harambe has become the emblem of Kenya today. In you will see the logo of Kenya. You will see Harambe as the word appearing there. And many more contribution. And recently in yoga, after the International Day of Yoga was announced from 2015 up to now, yoga has been taken up by Indian communities to spread it for health and humanity, and everyone embraces it. Saying this, I would also like to say that this spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is also inculcated somehow somewhere in the local indigenous communities of Kenya, and I'm sure in Africa, as a lot of Kenyans, they consider trees, mountains as sacred, just like we in India do. We have Ganga, we have Himalayas, and Tulsi. All these plants are considered sacred, and it gives an indirect respect to the flora and fauna, ultimately considering everything as one family, and we feel a duty towards them. So Kenyans have these trees, like there's a community here called Kikuyu. They have the Mugumo tree, which is very sacred. They consider Mount Kirinyaga, which is now called Mount Kenya, as sacred, and many other trees such Marubaini, Maembe, which have medicinal values, and they're representing the flora kingdom. So basically, there are lots of similarities between Kenyans, indigenous Kenyans, and Bharatiyas, and there is a lot of hope and a feeling and a sense of one world and one family. With that, I would like to end my speech here. Dhanyawad, namaskar to everyone.
invite Mr. Amar Hassan Kiria. Mr. Amar Hassan, please mute yourself
Yes.
and introduce yourself also.
Ram Ram, Salamullahi alaikum wal ikram. Adarani Ambassador Shri Virendra Gupta ji, Shri Shyam Parandi ji, friend of mine Zamir Anwar ji, distinguished dignitaries and esteemed participants, Sabiko Namaskar. Yes, the sun never sets on Indian diaspora. I would like to congratulate and thank the organizer of this conclave and for the invitation, of course, Antarashtriya Sahyog Parishad. Now, I would like to give a bit of background about me and what qualifies me maybe to be here among you, celebrating this day together, this live 24 hours conclave. I was born in Syria and raised between Syria and other Arab countries. Now, here is a little context. Syria is not the native name of the country. Rather, it is Syria. The name presented itself to me, and I believe to many Syrians, as a mystery, for there is no perfect etymology for that name in the Arabic language. Until now, it is a debated subject among many academic circles around the world. So when we say the sun never sets on Indian diaspora, I think this gels with me also very well. So if you allow me to say, you have among you a representative of the sun, Surya, a Suryavanshi, as one of my friends, Dr. Nawaf, one day said. I came to India first in mid-2008 on a spiritual quest that I couldn't ignore its intensity anymore. That time I was in the beginning of my 30s. Within a few months, by the end of 2008, I was graced by the physical darshan of my guru, Sri Radhama from Tamil Nadu, who introduced me to both worlds, Advaita Vedanta, as well as Sufism. In fact, in our very first meeting, she requested me to read and study the works of Maulana Jalaluddin al-Rumi, the famous Persian saint Sufi poet, and Sri Nyaneshwari, the famous saint of Maharashtra. The book of Al-Mathnawi of Rumi, she gave me both hands, the Mathnawi of Rumi and Amruta Anubhav of Sri Nyaneshwari at the same time. It is that divine love of my guru that opened the doors for me, that enabled me to understand what I have been seeking. At the end of the day, the guru is the dispeller of darkness, isn't it? And only a light can show you your own light. Especially we are saying now, you are, I mean, one of the themes of C20 is you are the light. Ma introduced me to the sacred knowledge of the sacred land. Through her hand, she kindled two flames, the flame of compassion to all and the flame of knowledge. And those both I learned here in India, I assume. Coming back to the native name of Syria, that is Surya, I learned shortly after I settled in India that according to Vedic scriptures, Surya is Sun Bhagavan, Lord of the Sun. But still, I couldn't connect the dots and keep the quest alive in my mind. Until recently, I was asked by a prestigious research firm, actually here in India, based in India, to work on a paper on the Indian traces in ancient and present Syria, in which I discovered through concrete evidences that yes, the native name of Syria, which is Surya, must be of Sanskrit origin by all means. Since 2009, I have been living in India continuously, mainly working on introducing spiritual literature to the Arab world through translating many books, some of them the teachings of Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharishi, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, Sri Mirabai, Tirukural, and lastly, Majma' al-Bahrain of His Highness Dara Shukr. It is an instruction of my Guru to share that knowledge with the Arab world that is unfortunately went and still going under many trials and afflictions. But I believe that darkness can only be fought with light. And this is the time, more than ever, for the rays of Indian sun to reach the Arab world and shine over the people of that land. Now, do I have still some time, little bit, or shall I? I can't hear you, sorry.
You can take 2 more minutes, please.
Okay, fine, thank you. So according to the Maha Upanishad, I think this is the main theme also of we have Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Now the verse in the Maha Upanishad says, Ayam nijaha paru veti, ganana lagu chitasam, udar charitra nam tu, Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Now the meaning of this, I think this is very important we put it in this context, because the meaning here, he is saying this is mine or this is yours. That only occur to the narrow-minded person. To the broadened mind person, he sees in fact the entire world as a family, one family. Building on the theme we have for this conclave and based on my personal experience, Bharat has always been blessed with 2 things. Yes, the sun of knowledge, that is for sure, but also the sun of compassion, the sun of love. Now, the best form of love is sharing. And the concept of sharing is very peculiar in India. In fact, I believe it was born in India. And that too, not any type of sharing. When you have the best of all, which is the mystical knowledge, the knowledge of spiritual liberation, and yet you share it, this is the ultimate form of love. Rather, it is divine love. I will conclude, in my opinion, that type of love and that type of knowledge, this is the perfect formula for becoming a world leader. To have a broad-minded, this is what India has been blessed with since time immemorial. This is why no one but Bharat can be world teacher, a Vishwa Guru. We come here to India to learn 2 things, knowledge and love. Thank you, Bharat, for seeing me worthy and bestowing upon me these 2 boons. Thank you all. Namaskar. Jai Bharat Mata.
Hassan, now I would like to invite Mr. Orhan Kalo Galvez from Turkey. Mr. Orhan, please.
Hello, good evening from Turkey. And well, first what I would love to say, it is honor to be among all our brothers, sisters for this extraordinary meeting. These voices are very, very important for today, for the whole world. I am of Roma origin. The world calls us with various pejorative names like gypsies, gitans, and so on. But we are the ones who arrived in Europe sometime in 11th century and brought Indian values to Europe. Unfortunately, Europe still today does not breathe in a way when we are saying that whole world is one family. And we have to share the world with love and respect. The Romani people around of the world and in Europe, especially here in Turkey. In Turkey, there are 6 to 7 million Roma, and around of the world, I think, is about 20 million Romani people. Can you imagine 20 million people that they have origin from India? And unfortunately, because of the treatments of Romani people, we could not develop and we could not show the values that we have brought here. If we are taking into account the language of Romani people, the Romani language comes actually from Sanskrit. It is a family of the Prakrit, is one of new Indian languages. Today it is much easier to show that we are from India. How? We do remember Pandit Nehru from 1926 when he visited Belgrade, and later Her Excellency Indira Gandhi has brought the voice that the Roma are forgotten children of India. Today we do speak Romani language, and many words are directly related to the Sanskrit and other Indian languages. My attention to all of you is that, and especially to my very good friends from New Delhi, from the organizer, is that we have to meet each other much often. We have to work much, much better. We have to show to the world that being one family is a peaceful coexistence. I would not have here a speech, but rather a message. I'm very happy that I have been to India a few times. I'm very happy that I saw my ethnic identity, my ethnic origin, which is from India. And that's why here in Izmir, where I work as an advisor to Mayor of Metropolitan City of Izmir, I can say now that we have got a building, and that building should be and will be a Romani Indian Heritage House. This place should spread around of the world all the values that India has for a sharing life, for making peaceful coexistence, and so on. This is very important for us, Roma. Why? Let me tell you just one example. Few weeks ago, Romani people who left Ukraine, who has to go out from Ukraine, and they are today in Poland and Czech and Slovak Republic. In Czech Republic, Romani people were attacked by the Ukrainians, thinking that those people are orphans of the world, that Roma are from no country, that Roma are not valuable humans. So that is the important, as we always work with Shamparandiji, with Zamirji, with Ambassador Gupta and the organization. We have to continue and try to do our best that those values are of extreme importance for today's world. Thank you very much. And my cordial greetings to each participant. I don't hear, I'm sorry.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you
Okay,
very
thank you.
much for connecting with us. And now I would like to inform that we are going to play a very short video. Please stay connected. About Romani.
Oh.
अच्छा तो उसको ही चला देते हैं चेतन जी
जो
जो चलाया था वही बस चला दीजिए
प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी का जो
ये सारा का सारा वही हाल है क्या हुआ
वही बात नहीं अभी हुआ था
ये हो चुका है मोदी जी का ही चला दीजिए दूसरा ले लीजिए, ये भी काम नहीं कर रहा है।
एंड कर देंगे प्राइम मिनिस्टर के मैसेज के साथ।
करके फिर आप वो यूएई में मिस्टर खन्ना को लास्ट ये भी अच्छा है।
Hello. Welcome to now EVA team. EVA participants are here.
Yes.
And Mr. Ajay Khanna will coordinate the team. First, I would like to introduce Mr. Ajay Khanna. Ajay Khanna is from Delhi, chartered accountant by professional, active on community service since 25 years. And he has experience of organizing different programs to engage the Indian diaspora and local community in UAE. Over to Sri Ajay Khanna ji. You conduct and coordinate the team UAE.
धन्यवाद.
1 hour is for you. Thank you so much.
धन्यवाद. And thank you so much to the organizing team for organizing such a beautiful event to connect everyone across the world. And we are really excited and honored from UAE to represent UAE in this forum. So UAE is United Arab Emirates as it stands. So I would just like to link the discussion to today's inauguration function which held in the morning, wherein Asaf Saeedji from External Affairs Ministry, he told that as per the latest data, our Indian diaspora is comes to around 33 million across the globe. So we are very excited to tell that UAE is the country who hosts the largest Indian diaspora out of the world. So in UAE, we have the Indian diaspora of 3.5 million, which contributes to 10% of total Indian diaspora, which is a very exciting number, and we are proud to be the part of the community and the living in a country which hosts such a big Indian diaspora. And in the same session, just to give a glimpse that how we've been living in this country, we represent across Bharat all the states, all the languages, all the cultures of Bharat you can see here. Probably in any of the metropolitan cities, you will not find the things which you will find in UAE, and specifically in Dubai, which is a metro city, one of the metro city in UAE. So it is an amazing experience. So we can see Bharat as a whole in a small city itself. So just a glimpse on the Indian diaspora here. And also I would like to mention Swami Mitrananji, who expressed that while going in his visits, he used to ask questions about Indian community, how they are performing. And I would also like to reflect on the same thing, that in one of the interactions with the Dubai police, they mentioned that Indians, being the biggest expat community in UAE, their crime rate is amongst lowest, if you see. So Dubai hosts, I would say, expat community more than the countries in the world, what UN recognizes. So these many countries are here. So among that number, we are the lowest in terms of crime rate. So this shows that how Bharatiya values have helped the Indian diaspora to flourish and to take the values to a great height. So going forward, to reflect the Indian diaspora in UAE, the diversity, we have amongst us 8 panelist speakers who are from various fields in UAE, who will talk about their experiences, the impact that the Indian diaspora has given on the local community here, and how they've been engaged since time the country was formed and before it even came into existence itself, and how it's been happening now, and the future. How do we look as a future, and how do we support the country, and going with the true values of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, where we go and embrace everyone with love, which Amar Bhai has just explained, out of love, which is the essence of our core ethos and values. So we have to invite first, we have Shri Rajesh Somaniji with us. Rajesh Somaniji, just to give an introduction, Rajesh Somaniji is the Vice Chairman of ICI Dubai chapter, and he is a member of that chapter since 1993. He's a trustee of Rajasthan Business and Professional Group, which is called RBPG UAE. Since its inception, which is 2018, he's the member of Marwadi Yuva Manch UAE. From the educational background, he is a fellow member of Chartered Accountants, Institute of Chartered Accountants and Company Secretaries, and he is an alumni of Harvard Business School. To name a few awards which Rajesh Somaniji has earned over the period, is Chairman's Individual Award for Outstanding Leader in Aditya Birla Group 2008, Asia Pacific Entrepreneurship Award by Asia Enterprises, Singapore, Malaysia 2018. He's a member of ICAI New Delhi in First International Leaders Award 2018 in Abu Dhabi. He also received Chairman's Individual Award for Exemplary Services in Aditya Birla Group by Mr. Kumar Mangalam Birla in 2018. So we are honored, Rajeshji, to have you here and to share your brief, your insights on the impact of Indian diaspora on the local community we have. Dhanyavad.
धन्यवाद. धन्यवाद अजय जी, बहुत ही विस्तृत और शानदार इंट्रोडक्शन के लिए. नमस्कार एवं वंदे भारत. सर्वप्रथम मैं अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सहयोग परिषद, उसके समस्त अधिकारीगण व उससे जुड़े हुए सम्मानीय महानुभावों का हार्दिक आभार व अभिनंदन करता हूं, जिन्होंने आज इस 24 आवर्स वर्चुअल कार्यक्रम का आयोजन किया है और उसमें मुझे व अन्य कई देशों से भारतीय मूल के लोगों को भाग लेने का अवसर प्रदान किया है। धन्यवाद व हार्दिक आभार। आज के इस कार्यक्रम ने न केवल विभिन्न देशों में बसे भारतीय मूल के लोगों को अपने विचार व अपने यहाँ की वस्तु स्थिति को अवगत कराने का अवसर प्रदान किया है, बल्कि वर्तमान विश्व की परिस्थिति में बहुत ही सामयिक व दोनों उपयुक्त विषयों पर चर्चा करने का मौका भी मिला है। वसुदेव कुटुंबकम की विचारधारा व उसकी स्वीकार्यता वर्तमान विश्व की कई गंभीर समस्याओं का सरलतम व स्थायी समाधान प्रदान करती है। मुझे अच्छी तरह याद है कि बचपन में जब कभी माँ या पिताजी के साथ धार्मिक या सत्संग में जाना होता था, तब स्वामी जी या संत जन, चाहे वे पुरी के निरंजन देव शंकराचार्य हो या राम सुखदास जी महाराज हो या श्री जी महाराज हो या रामानुजाचार्य जी हो, सत्संग व प्रवचन का प्रारंभ व अंत भी इन 4-5 उद्घोषों के साथ ही होता था। धर्म की जय हो, अधर्म का नाश हो, प्राणियों में सद्भावना हो, विश्व का कल्याण हो। कल्पना कीजिए जिस बालक को परिवार का पालन पोषण इस तरह के वातावरण या संस्कृति में हो, वह भारतीय विश्व के किसी भी कोने में जाकर सहजता के साथ रह सकता है, बल्कि प्रेम पूर्वक स्वीकार्य भी होता है। इसीलिए एवरीवेयर इंडियन डायस्पोरा इज co-mingled well and coexist well without disturbing the local culture and system. वसुदेव कुटुंबकम हमारे लिए केवल स्लोगन ही नहीं है, इट इज ए वे ऑफ अवर लाइफ इन भारतीय संस्कृति या सनातन धर्म में। We Indian diaspora believe in respect for all and live and let live, जियो और जीने दो। यूएई और संयुक्त अरब अमीरात का इसका लाइव एग्जाम्पल है। जैसे अजय जी ने बताया, 38% of the population consists Indian diaspora. People are living together since 6-7 decades peacefully. Irrespective of caste, religion, region, and profession. 40% of Indians are from white collar job and 60% are from blue collar job profession. Most of the hospitals and medical clinics are served by Indian doctors. Most of the workshop and engineers firms are being served by Indian engineers. And all big 5 accounting and auditing firms have highest number of Indian CAs in their firm in comparison to other nationalities. Our Dubai chapter of Institute of Chartered Accountant of India is the largest chapter of ICI outside India, out of 47 overseas chapter having membership of more than 3,000 CA plus. that itself speak not about the acceptability of the profession, but about the Indian professionals. Number of educational institutions are serving here education sector. Medical College by Thumbi, BITS Pilani, SP Jain, MET, Manipal, DPS, Working Group, etc., having a strength of 1,000 students. Our coexistence skill and peaceful way of living life without disturbing and changing the local culture make us Bharatiya true global citizen. We really implement Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam more and preach less. That is the reason the sun never sets on Indian diaspora. And we live in more than 100 countries outside India. As per Maryland's 2005 report, more than 33,000 Indian millionaires are in UAE. The relationship between two countries, UAE and India, are very cordial and with good friendship. UAE has fourth largest Indian diaspora after USA, Saudi, and Nepal. UAE signed its first CEPA, Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, with India. Our beloved Prime Minister was decorated with not only highest civilian award of Order of the Jayed on 24th August 2019 in UAE, but by similar highest civilian award of Saudi, the King Abdulaziz Sas, in April 2016. It is a clear testimony of our belief, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and continuous rising sun of Indian diaspora. You will be happy to note that in my memory, and maybe in last 60, 70 or 80 years, in Abu Dhabi, there is going to be a biggest temple in 27-acre land that itself speak about the coexistence of the various faith, various religions in this part of the world. And being an Indian, it is proud to say that the world has started recognizing this fact about our coexistence nature without disturbing and demanding any adjustment with the local culture or local traditions. It is time to spread peace and love in the world with our time-tested spirituality, yoga, and coexistence skill without ambition of any expansion. For this, not only time is ripe, but India is blessed with the right kind of leadership with the right vision also. अंत में मैं अपनी बात शायर वसीम की यह कहकर के समाप्त करता हूं कि कौन सी बात कहां कैसे कही जाती है, कौन सी बात कहां और कैसे कही जाती है, ये सलीका हो तो हर बात सुनी जाती है. And the world is now looking for India with a better living life solution, with more harmony, and rightly coined today's headline that the sun never sets on Indian diaspora, because we have not only prove ourselves, but have also created a very friendly and growing culture. Wherever we have worked, we have not only put our brain but heart also there. Thank you very much once again to all the organizers for this beautiful event. I think such kind of events definitely connect all of us and give opportunity to learn. Thank you very much. Jai Bharat, Vande Mataram.
धन्यवाद राजेश जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद for your insights on the Indian diaspora in UAE. So it definitely reflects the impact and the respect which has gained over the period by our diaspora here, Indian diaspora here. So next in line, I would like to invite Shri Arun Agrawal ji, who is from Gujarat, Bharat, and he works with Department of Finance in Government of Dubai. So he is a tax specialist, is a fellow member of Chartered Accountants, Company Secretary, and SEMA. So he has a fair opportunity to interact with the local community here, being in government department. And he is very active in community services. He is the treasurer for FOI and is contributing regularly to the society since early years of his life. So I would welcome Arunji to deliver his words. Dhanyawad.
Namaste to all. Thank you for this opportunity, and I would like to thanks ASRP whole team for organizing such a beautiful events and make me part of this wonderful event. It is very inspiring to learn from all this Indian diaspora and other people on this occasion. I'm in UAE since last 5 years, and I'm closely working with local community here, because in my office most of the people are from local nations. As Mr. Rajesh rightly said, the Indians are one of the very big community here in UAE, and it is very well respected by the local community, as we are coexist with the local community without disturbing their culture and their rules and regulation. And we are here since many decades as the Indian diaspora, and we have seen the development of UAE since its starting. And our contribution in the development of this nation is very well recognized by local community as well. It is very proud to see the development of this nation and our contribution towards this nation. As part of Indian community, we are conducting various events. As a part of FY, we are conducting various events along with Consulate General of India and local communities. Like we are celebrating various cultural events in UAE. Celebrating Indian festivals are very important to connect kids and youngsters towards our Indian culture and history. So we are celebrating like Deepavali Utsav since many years, and it is attended by more than 5,000 people, where we showcase unity in diversity. This function has various activities like Rangoli, where more than 200 teams of Bharatiya Bhaginis are participating in this, and they showcase the art of Rangolis. And we also have a cultural games event where we showcase our old games which was played by us in our childhood times. So to showcase the youngsters that the games can also be played without digital devices. We also do various cultural dances in this event, and it is showcased by different team from different states, because in India we have various states, and all states have their own different vesbhusa, different language, and different traditions. We do have traditional foods in this event. The Indian foods are loved by a local community as well. I would like to share one incident when I joined my company. Like, I am a vegetarian, and we have an event in the office where they invited me for the food, and I said I eat only this food which is vegetarian. I'm not eating the egg or chicken or meat or this kind of things. Some of them are very surprised to know that how can I survive without eating all these things. Then I have ordered some Indian foods regularly for them, and they are surprised to know that there are so many vegetarian dishes available in Dubai which can be made without all these things. Now they are regularly ordering these foods, and they love Indian foods, and we celebrate on various occasions this Indian food in my office. So we showcase many Indian food stalls in this Deepavali events, where people can taste the Indian foods and they can enjoy the festivals along with foods. We also celebrate various other festivals in UAE. We are not feel like we are far from the India, because we celebrate almost all festivals in UAE. As a part of FY, we celebrate Pongals and Onams and Holi event as well, which is attended by more than 2,000 people. We also contribute in Seva activities. We do regular blood donations in UAE, in Dubai, along with Dubai Health Authority. In last year, we have contributed 960 units of blood units through blood donations, and it was very well recognized and appreciated by Dubai Health Authority. We are amongst the highest blood donor after Dubai Police. We are also work very closely with Indian Consulate and other local agencies to do various seva and cultural activities. I will stop my speech here only, and I would like to thank all the organizer for organizing such a wonderful event to showcase Indian diaspora around the world and able to listen and learn so much things from them. Thank you so much. Good evening. Vande Bharat.
Dhanyavad, Arunji. Just what Arunji has told, that there is a big impact and a big progress of the government collaborations and the understandings between the two countries. And on the same lines, the government is doing work and our community is doing work to connect with the local community. So on a one-to-one contact itself, at times, what we have learned from our family system, from our structures, these small things can be cured from our kitchen itself. So just to give an example, like the local people, like if they are not able to, able to heal on these small things, so they keep on taking pills. And then once they, in offices, in all the areas, when we tell them that this can be cured at home itself, small turmeric and all those things within your kitchen, so they get impressed and then they keep on asking certain things. Then, okay, for this, what you do at your home. So these are small things, but gives a big impact and connect between the two communities and the two cultures. Dhanyavad, Arunji, for such wonderful words and your experiences and the work which you are doing to connect the communities here. And moving forward from Gujarat, as I told, that we reflect the Lagu Bharat, what we say, a small India in UAE. So we go to the southern state of Kerala, from where I would invite Sujit ATV, to give us his experiences on the impact of Indian diaspora. Before that, I'll give a brief introduction of Mr. Sujit ATV. He's from Kerala and he's working in UAE for last 16 years with MasterCard. He's having an IT background and an fintech background, to be specific. And he's dealing in with various social initiatives and programs which has got Adhyatmik Seva and youth-related activities. So he's very much involved in our Yuva activities, wherein we connect with the younger generations and we look forward for our future through them. So I would invite Sujitji to share his experiences about the subject. Dhanyavad.
Ajay Khanna.
Hello, Ji. Yes, Ji.
Ajay Khanna ji, please take care of time. You have 8 speakers and you have to finish by 12.
Yes, sure, Suji. So
Indian Institute, I mean.
Yes.
You can hear me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you, Antarashtriya Sahitya Parishad as well for giving this particular opportunity and for conducting such a 24-hour long conclave based on the theme of Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, and as well the tagline of "The Sun Never Stops" for Indian diaspora. So, like my fellow panelist from UAE has spoken, so there is a big contribution of Indian diaspora in UAE, especially because of the 30% population of Indian diaspora in UAE. And if you really see, Indians have been active in UAE even before UAE got independence or UAE became a country with 7 emirates in 1971. So initially, the currency of UAE used to be Indian rupees those days, and then which eventually became Gulf rupee, and the trading and everything used to happen in Gulf rupee before it became UAE dirhams subsequently once the country was formed. So with the increasing pace of growth that we have seen in UAE in the years of 1980s and all, so a lot of people have come from India to stay to as an employers or as businessmen in various sectors, and they have brought in their families and they have made the UAE as their second home. So some of the business sectors have been covered by Rajesh ji. So I'll quickly move on to one of the sectors which is more important for younger generation, which is the education sector. So Rajesh ji just covered about the number of students who are studying here. So roughly, you will not believe there are about 100 schools of Indian curriculum currently operating in UAE. So they operate both CBSE and ICSE syllabus, and they are running very well in UAE. And even the students of other nationalities are also studying in these schools. So covering the concept of Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, or serving the entire humanity. And one of the largest school chain, GEM School, is run by one of the Indian, Sunny Waki. So they give, they cover other curriculums also in addition to Indian curriculum. So some of the universities were mentioned by Rajesh ji. So in addition to that, I just wanted to make a point here, like when during the recent visit of our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. So he declared that the first international campus of IIT Delhi is going to come up in Abu Dhabi. So that's how the close relation that both India and UAE currently have. So even I have heard a lot of locals from here also go to India or for their higher education, and they even learn a lot of languages as well. And in addition to this, a lot of other educational programs run by various IAMs and other things are also running in parallel here. And if you consider other language studies also, there is a program, various programs run by Samskrita Bharati in association with UAE Consulate to teach Sanskrit languages to people here. People from other nationalities also come and participate. Then for students to improve their scientific temper and abilities, Science India Forum is also conducting various programs, which also include Shastra Pratibha contest, which is run in various schools. And the winners are taken to India, into ISRO and other institutes as part of learning activities. Now, I'll quickly move on to the health sector. So Rajeshji slightly touched upon the doctors, Indian doctors here. So you can see a good number of Indian doctors, nurses, and other paramedical staff working in the health sector here. And one of the largest chain of hospitals, Aster Hospitals or Lifeline Hospitals, they both are run by Indians in UAE. And in addition to that, now Ayurveda, which is the Indian system of medicine, it is picking up pace in UAE. There has been a lot of new Ayurvedic institutes which have come up in the last 10 years. And you all will know the first Ayush conference outside Bharat happened in UAE. It happened in 2017, and we had participants from a lot of countries in and around UAE. And in the health sector, we can't leave yoga out. So International Yoga Day has been celebrated from its inception in UAE every year with consulates, embassies, and Dubai Sports Council all participating in it. And we had large gatherings of yoga enthusiasts from different nationalities. I think in the last one, we had around 100 plus nationalities participating in the Yoga Day celebrations. And we had like eminent yoga gurus like Baba Ramdev also attending one such event. And you can also see the number of yoga studios has been increasing in a fast pace in the recent past. Now coming to the cultural part, so there have been close links between the two cultures. Both are family-oriented cultures, if you take UAE and the Indian system. And just like how Arunji mentioned, all festivals, Diwali, Onam, Holi, everything is celebrated with full favor in here. So we always say normally Onam is celebrated only once in India or mainly in especially Kerala. But here Onam runs from, let's say, August till the end of the year. So every week you will have one Onam celebration by one of the organization. And just Rajeshji talked about the new temple or mandir which is coming up in Abu Dhabi. So it is being constructed by Bab Sanstha on the model of Akshardham temples. And this would be one of the biggest temple in this region. And it is being constructed with 7 gopurams representing 7 emirates of UAE. So that's why even when the temple was coming, we considered how the values of UAE and the structure of UAE, and based on that only the temple was built. And all whatever pujas and everything, it happens in UAE. So we, and even in some of the activities, the ministers and all also participate. So recently last year, there was this Save Soil movement program by Sadhguru, which happened. So we even had 2 ministers participating in that event. And also from the cultural aspect, so we can all see that UAE or especially Dubai, so that's the biggest market for all the films in India. After India, the UAE is the biggest market. And a lot of cultural shows, a lot of cine artists, music artists, even stand-up comedians also recently. Now they have started coming to UAE and performing all their programs. So all in all, so I've just covered these 3 sectors. So I have other panelists also covering the other aspects. So all in all, there has been a close coordination between UAE, and it is that the close linkage is going and it is resulting. And it's not just UAE, because UAE is a hub for Middle East and many other countries. So as Ajayji was mentioning, so it really brings in that Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam or that family feeling, because a lot of other nationalities also participate in all these activities where we can pass our values or Indian ethos and values to them. Thank you very much again for giving this opportunity, and I'll pass it on to Ajay Khannaji. Thank you very much. Dhanyawad.
Dhanyawad Sujit ji. Next in queue is our Ramachandran ji. Ramachandran ji is from Tamil Nadu. Okay. Ramachandran ji is from Tamil Nadu. For more than 30 years of experience.
अरे यार तुम्हारा यही तो नाटक होता है मेडिसिन खाने में, तभी तुम्हारा प्रॉब्लम होता है. ये पेड़ जो भारी हुआ ना हल्का
Get them maybe. Okay. So Ramachandran ji is from Tamil Nadu. He's a sales professional for 30 years, and he's working in the Tamil community of our expatriates, and he's very active in writing on the portals and the magazines, and he's having a keen interest in Vedanta, Tamil literature, and the history. And he is working tirelessly to connect and serve the community here in Dubai. Over to Ramachandran ji.
Thank you all. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity bestowed upon me. We all know that the contribution of Indian diaspora in building up the entire Middle East and especially United Arab Emirates. For the last half a century, our people have built up the roads, the sky wrappers, everything. That was the first round of people who came here. Then we had our engineers serving this great nation. Then we have the doctors, teachers, and other professionals. As time goes by, most of the companies, the top management is being filled up by our Indian people. Friends, what is next? This is all history. What is in front of us? How we are going to utilize the new challenges and help build the country which is giving us the food, shelter, and whatnot. You all know that the entire Middle East, they're going for a localization in a big way, with Emiratization, Omanization, or Saudization. And in Bharat, we have a very distinct advantage. We have been the knowledge capital of the world for quite a long time. Even before some 2,000, 2,500 years, we had the great Dakshashila and Nalanda universities. The people used to come to Bharat to learn many things. So we have the right kind of manpower, which can in turn help to educate and train and facilitate the local community into the right kind of a career path. That is the opportunity that lies ahead of us. Already IITs have got a plan to open up a campus here in UAE. We have the BITS Pilani is there, Manipal University is there. So we are planning to have this IIT is there. Soon we may have the IIMs also. And next in line, we need to have the kind of a vocation training institutes and other things which can guide the youth of the great nation, UAE, and also all the other countries in the Middle East, so that youth can be put into the proper usage, which can add the economic value to the nation. This is what that opportunities and challenges against us. And I know that I'm confident that we will be geared up to handle this opportunity in the most positive way and make the very positive impact on the society and ensure that this is a Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, because when we share knowledge, we are not going to lose anything. In fact, when sharing the knowledge, we end up learning more. So let's use this opportunity and help build this nation and also the entire world. As we know, Mata cha Parvati Devi, Pita Devo Maheshwara, Bandava Shiva Bhakta se Pradesho Bhuvanatrayam. The entire world is just our home. Wherever we go, we add value to the place and to the people. And
Dhanyavad Ramachandran ji for your words. So next from Ramachandran ji, I would invite Ravi Chand ji. He is from the media industry, and he's originally from Bihar and studied in Jawaharlal University in Delhi, and then studied in Australia. He's been NRI for 20 years and expert in International Higher Education Center. So he is from the two fields, education as well as from media. He's a columnist with Sunday Guardian, writes about Indian culture, Indian Arab International Relations and Business. He is an executive member of PIOCCI in UAE. So I would invite Raviji to briefly put his experiences to this forum.
Thank you. Thank you, Ajay Khannaji. Am I audible? I didn't check. Yes, great. First, like to thank you, ARSP, for organizing such a great 24 hours program. And I watched a few sessions. And I would also like to thank some of the speakers from the other countries through whom I came to learn about, especially Amar Hassan ji. So his views about his visit to India and what his takeaways. And also today I had an opportunity to learn a bit more about Romani people. So that was a great experience, and happy to hear brothers and sisters of the world from Orhanji, and reminds me of Swami Vivekanand ji, how he went to the summit in USA and talked about brothers and sisters of America and the kind of image that our country has worldwide because of that. Most of my friends from UAE have already touched upon education and about some other cultural exchanges. I am mindful of the time also, so I would not like to repeat anything. So whatever I could add here, I will say that. I would also like to start from one shloka, which is actually one of the shloka that I follow, actually one of the philosophy that I follow in my life. And that's called Vidya Dadati Vinayam, Vinayat Yati Patratam, Patratam Dhanam Apnoti, Dhanat Dharma Tata Sukham. So, which means that as per the Indian philosophy, the sukh, the essence of happiness and blissfulness comes from knowledge. And what I learned, and I actually exchanged that with my other colleagues from different cultures, and they appreciated the fact that the cycle of the happiness that is prescribed in the sloka is definitely mind blowing, because it says that the knowledge gives you patrata, which is the candidature, and from that you are able to get a great job or able to get a good business, and from that you can make good money, and then with the money you can do dharma, dhanat dharma, and then that's the root for the happiness. So this is uh, definitely something that was appreciated by my Marathi friends when I shared about this. I would talk about the business and contribution to business by the Indians. Uh, many of you may be surprised that 6 out of the top 10 richest people living in UAE are Indians, and the rest 4 are the citizen of this country. So we had a good representation when it comes to the number of the richest people. And the other thing is, I will talk a little bit about yoga. Definitely has been talked already. So in Indian, we have as a community contributed a lot. Just adding a point that last year we, Friends of India, we conducted a yoga where 5,000 people participated, and most of them were women, actually, and from different countries. So this was a unique yoga of its sense that was performed and led by and managed by the women, the Indian women, and attended by almost everywhere in the world. When it comes to the cultural exchange between the two countries, we have all kind of exchanges. Language we have not touched upon. So Hindi and Urdu have made a great impact in UAE language, and it's commonly spoken. Hindi has found its place in many of the government offices. So any instructions in the traffic department or in many of the immigration departments and at the airport, you don't need to be surprised if you see Arabic, English, and then Hindi. So that's the third language that is being used in UAE. and have more than 1,000 Indian restaurants here, more than about 300 vegetarian restaurants, including the Govinda's restaurants. So that's a kind of the cultural exchange that we have. Our previous speakers have already talked about the cultural exchanges between the Bollywood and Hollywood. So that's very popular here. And regarding education, uh, I will also add here that many of the schools and universities, most of the professors are from actually India, whether it's an Indian curriculum or whether it's a British or IB curriculum. And that goes same in the university also. So Indian academicians are preferred and definitely given a great role. The last is that I am also a founder of Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay Foundation, and we do some kind of work in UAE. Recently, there was an exchange of talk between UAE intellectuals, and two of the High Court justices were invited, and we talked about the democracy in India. So that was well received. That happened about 5 or 6 months ago. We also discussed about the Antyodaya philosophy and what is the meaning of that, and that was well accepted by the people of Emirates in that conference organized by Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay Foundation. So I think I will leave some time for my other friends, and thank you very much.
Dhanyavad Raviji. And in line to our discussion, I would invite Shri Narendra Bhagrekarji, who hails from Nagpur, Maharashtra. Now we come to the center of Bharat here. He's socially active in UAE for last 17 years, been born and brought up in a social and educational background family. He's working with Supreme Plastics India as head of exports, and and he's associated with Maharashtra Mandal, of which he was his executive member committee during the last year. He is currently vice president of Science India Forum UAE to promote science and technology within the students fraternity of UAE. So I would welcome Narendra Bhagrekarji and share his thoughts on the impact of Indian community on local community here. Dhanyavad.
Thank you, Ajayji, and namaskar to one and all. And I thank you so much to ARSP for giving us the UAE representative to share their thoughts and views on the concept of Vasudhaiva. I know time is very short, and followed by me, there are two senior brothers, my elder brothers, who are going to speak. So I'll not take much of your time in setting my views, because most of them are covered by my fellow Indians. Now, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is an ancient philosophical concept which is a part of Bharatiya culture. What it means is that while we accept the geographic and political boundaries, but then we are all global citizens having common origin. We follow different religious rituals, different food patterns, different clothing, different cultural languages and expression of art. But then, end of the day, though our paths are different, our goals are same. We Indians have a history of not attacking any nation unless we are being challenged. While doing so, we followed a policy where we will defeat the rulers and not the regime. Example of this can be found from Ramayana to Mahabharata to ancient history to modern history and even in contemporary history. Even today, India is maintaining its own standing, be it the Russian-Ukraine matter or, for that matter, any other geopolitical issues in the past. We have three concepts, especially for the Indians, which we call it Punya Bhumi, Matru Bhumi, and Karma Bhumi. Now, Karma Bhumi is where I'm going to work. My bread and butter is earned. Matru Bhumi is where I'm born. But in last few decades, the situation happened that we are having children who are born and brought up outside UAE. For them, Bharat is a Punya Bhumi. So we have three concepts. Punya Bhumi, that means my ancestor belonging to Bharat. Matrubhumi, where I am born in the Bharat. And Kamabhumi, where I am born in Bharat, but earning my bread and butter outside the country. Now, coming to UAE, Indians have contributed enormously in the development of the country as well, bringing culture and social values. I remember when I came in 2006, I have a taxi driver who used to tell me he came over here from Kerala in 1960s, early 1960s, and he used to tell the Arabs were not aware how to even fix the bulbs. From there to here, we know where the UAE has gone up to. Now, last one is that we brought in yoga over here, which is a very brilliant example how we brought the cultural values of Indian philosophy over here. Now, Science India Forum, as Ajay ji has spoke about, I'm part of it for last 7-8 years. We are trying to promote the Indian science and technology within the Indian community students for studying either CBSE or ICSE pattern. Here we would like to just tell them that, okay, yes, the science and technology, Indians have contributed enormously, not in the past, even in today's scenario. So we just bring them the new situation for them where they can appreciate this, and probably then they will get into a science as a career. Sujit ji mentioned about Science India Forum, the Ayush. Now we know when the Modi ji has sworn in as a Prime Minister in 2014, we first time brought in Ayush Ministry as the independent ministry, and then in 2017, Science India Forum was interested to conduct the first international Ayush exhibition. The second edition of that is going to be in January 24. So I request every one of you to follow this event, which is going to be wonderful. We have different linguistic-based culture organization within UAE. I'm part of the Mart Mandal, and I know how it impacts a lot over here. And this Mandal is in existence for last more than 5 decades. Apart from this, there are different informal and formal groups based on the culture or linguistic where the people from India do join them. Now, when it comes to business, already Raviji has spoken about it. We cannot say there is a single business or industry where Indians are not the stakeholders. They are not only owning the business, they are holding prominent position like managing director, the CEO and CFO. When we are in UAE, especially Dubai and Sharjah, you will have experience of being in extended India, be it Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, Hyderabad, or even the Konkan, which is a part of the Maharashtra. Dubai and now Sharjah allowed expat to hold freehold properties, and here again, Indians are emerging as a top investor in this part of the world. There are many things we can talk about UAE as a nation and how Indians have immense contribution made in the development of this country. Pretty sure as years go ahead, we will be the major partner between UAE and India. And recently, we already signed an FTA, free trade agreement, which is going to definitely help Indians to promote the business. Once again, many thanks to ARSP for offering this opportunity to UAE to share the experience and observation. And I'm sure my elder brothers will contribute more in this discussion further. Thank you so much.
Dhanyavad Narendra ji for your thoughts. Next, I would invite Shri S. Venkatesh ji, who is the founder and managing partner of MCA, a global chartered accountant firm having 5 branches in GCC with a vision of expanding in other countries and across the globe. He's the governing council member at PIOCCI. He's vice president for the Friends of India here in Dubai, past chairman of ICI Dubai chapter. And to name a few contributions, he's actively involved in the services COVID-19 relief done through Indian consulate, through supplying various needy things to the needy people. Then he's a co-founder of Dubai Tamil Family in the year 1997 and organized more than 200 events and social program for 12 plus years. Advisor to the Smart Life, an NGO licensed by the Community Development Authority of Dubai, which is working for the upliftment of blue collars workers in the Emirate. He's a committee member of first Ayush International Conference, which Narendra just mentioned about, and organizing committee member for the Yoga Day celebrations happening in UAE. Apart from that, at various events and platforms, we keep getting guidance of Venkatesh ji. So I would like to welcome Venkatesh ji to share his thoughts and experiences on the subject. Dhanyavad.
Namaskar to everyone. Thank you, Ajay, and thank you to ARSP leadership team for organizing the great event for 24 hours, as well as giving opportunity to UAE. And UAE is a unique place, as many call us a developed India. And in fact, the connecting India among various states is more in UAE than within India. That's the unique, and 100+ nationalities live here. Even amongst today, you can see our panelists, each one we have from a different state. So here, every state from India, people have stays here for many, many years, as I stay here for more than 27 years. And this is on the last 9 years, the relationship is great. And especially now the recent, when Modi's visit, the Indian rupee trade allowed now the dirhams is give the boost to the trade, as well as the CEPA agreement, which is signed